Hallelujah, hallelujah. We told you, precious. Thank you for the rain, Abba Yahweh. We told you, Abba Yahweh, as the sun obey your voice, just as the moon at night, Abba Yahweh. Even so, Abba Yahweh, just as you speak to them and they obey your voice, Abba Yahweh, you spoke a word and breathed the breath of life in us to give us another day, Abba Yahweh. That you brought us back into the bed once again, Abba Yahweh. And we will never stop doing, Abba Yahweh. As the nation sings, Abba Yahweh. And the playing of the instruments in our hallelujahs be unto you this morning, Abba Yahweh. On this day that you have granted us, Abba Yahweh. But one more time that we can praise our King. Because we know, Abba Yahweh, there's nothing that we did by our own power, but by you, Abba Yahweh, that kept us to this day, Abba Yahweh. And we will get honor back unto you, Abba Yahweh. Abba Yahweh, it's not for form or fashion, Abba Yahweh. Nothing else we have to get to you, Abba Yahweh. But the one tongue that you gave us in our mouth, Abba Yahweh, that we can lift up our voices unto you, Abba Yahweh. All our hallelujahs, Abba Yahweh. And the songs that the nation sings from you, from the land, Abba Yahweh. That's all we have to give, Abba Yahweh. And that's what we do, Abba Yahweh. We're not being ashamed, Abba Yahweh. But we're rejoicing to know this special King that we serve, Abba Yahweh. That there's no one like you, Abba Yahweh. And all the old lambs and all the YHWH. But there's nothing but one great King, Abba Yahweh. That we know that what you have done for us, Abba Yahweh. But man don't understand this great power that you have, Abba Yahweh. But we understand, Abba Yahweh, that you're the one that gives us the shalom in our land, Abba Yahweh. You're the one that gives us the rejoicing, Abba Yahweh. You're the one, Abba Yahweh, that gives us the dancing in our feet unto you, Abba Yahweh. Oh, hallelujah, hallelujah. Oh, for your precious son, Yahshua HaMashiach, Abba Yahweh. Hallelujah, hallelujah. Let us stand to our feet, nation. Blow the trumpet in the melody of Yahweh and Yahshua HaMashiach. Hallelujah. Yahweh, which is the YHWH. Kadosh is your mighty name. Your Malkuth to come. Your will be done. In earth, Abba Yahweh, as it was the YHWH. Give us this day our daily ration. And forgive us our debt, Abba Yahweh. And we forgive our debtors. But lead us not from evil, Abba Yahweh. To temptation. Abba Yahweh, for yours is the Malkuth, the power and the honor, Abba Yahweh, forever, Abba Yahweh. So be it, Abba Yahweh. Let me fulfill the present master name of Yahshua HaMashiach, who killed me like this day, Abba Yahweh. And he feeds us and lets him the bread of life to your nation, Abba Yahweh. With clarity and understanding, Abba Yahweh. To uproot, to tear down, Abba Yahweh. Bring us back into that perfect man of your son, Yahshua HaMashiach, I pray. Hallelujah. 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 Hallelujah.
He has given us life and breath this morning. So let us lift our voices.
And one Hallelujah. Oh, I like that name. So we do want to greet you all in Yahshua's mighty name for the blessed assurance of all of the wonderful riches and the blessings of our Abba.
Hallelujah.
That he has showered down upon us as a nation. And so I do barak him for his greatness. The sun is shining today, and drizzle of rain has flowed upon the earth. And so I won't complain about nothing.
Yeah.
Let's see if they get that together for me. I have no complaints. None whatsoever. In the old days that no one had, no testimony at all. But all would say, I'm glad to be alive. So that's enough for me, just to be in the presence of our King, that he shares all of his abundance of his riches with us as a nation. When I see the mayhem in the world today, when I see all the trouble, people losing their minds, they have no direction to take. There is no direction for them.
Yes.
So I can always go to his Torah and find the answer for everything that I need and we need. It resolves all matters. Am I coming through clear? Can you all hear me clearly?
Yes.
So the fans and things. I want to teach today. Let me say this before I began. You that know of me, you really don't know me, but I'm a student of this book. The book is life. I don't ever want to have scholarship or a master of anything. I don't want that. And I have compiled the timeline. It's in the proximity. No one can tell you the exact dates. And through my study, all kinds of documents, historians, there is a proximity or an approximation. And so I've taken a timeline to disprove one of the most violent lies in this hour. It has been what they call the Jewish leap year. It's a lie.
Yes.
You can find nowhere of an intercalary, that is to add days, times, and months, the time of Yah's time frame. And so I have compiled a tremendous amount of Torah. No exterior pollution, everything from the book.
Yes.
The will of Yah, I would love to finish that this evening. We put that in a PDF file, and I want to send it to everyone that wants it. Eventually we can do booklets. There is no commentary by me at all because you can read it.
Yes.
I emphasize things with underlining and caps, capital letter. It's a lie.
Yeah.
I said to my friend Marcos, he came check on me the other day, and I said, son, let me show you how they deduce this twisted lie. And there's a man, his name is called Michael Rood, R-O-O-D, Michael Rood. He's right there in Charlotte, North Carolina. He is one of the most dubious personalities you're going to meet. I said to my son, listen to how they deduct this. You must understand that Michael Rood and those that say they love that slither land over there, the Jews, they don't want to be called Jews. The word Jew is an offense. Those that call themselves Jewish, you can't even, and they cannot even tell you the origin of the word. There will be those that, well, it came from Yahuwah. It's a lie. It did not come from that. So they compile their own meaning. Well, the word YHWH, it has no meaning. I have searched. You can't find it. And so Michael Rood and his cadre of liars, they kept the Pesach same time we did. They said they're keeping Matzvah this month because of the Abib, the earing of the barley. These are stupid fools. And you follow their lies. I will always prove everything by Kitzvah. That's scripture. I won't even make commentary on it, but I will always do that. Because this is a world that is full of deceit and lies. You want to challenge me, any of you all, come with the volume of Torah. They had one chapter. You can't forget what chapter he said. And Nehemiah, supposed to be the scholar of the Jewish culture, is from 1 King, chapter 4. I said, no, Argmakos, when you go home, read that chapter and see if you find anything that complements that. Then they gave us another chapter out of Yeshaya. They do the leap year and they make sure that because they don't want to cheat the workers. I say, these twisted liars. And you will buy their lies. We must understand what the Hellenistic culture of those that call themselves Jews, that created what we call the Talmuds, the Talmudic doctrine. You must understand what they call their culture, what they had compiled with their culture, and also they were impressed with the Greekish mind. They combine aspects of Greek and what they call Jewish culture. So they came up with this product, we know it as the Hellenistic doctrine. It is rooted in the Talmudic, the Council of the Sanhedrins. These men even said the other day, my friend he was listening, that the Rabbinical Council of that slither land we call Israel, they have compiled all the record for one purpose. So when Mashiach comes, they're going to present him the records. If that ain't the most damnable, stupid idea, that's what they said. My friend looked and said, correct. That's how we get this, what they call it. The leap year. Yah's time always change in the sense that in this world there will be those that will have the springtime of the year celebrating. There will be those in the fall of the year celebrating. There will be those in the midst of the winter celebrating, because we have a northern and a southern hemisphere. So when it's summer here, it's winter there. When it's winter here, it's summer there. So there is no one that's going to celebrate this in the same time. In South Africa, it's cold. In New Zealand, it's cold. It's winter. This is the stupidity of this generation. Yah, and I have at least 100 scriptures, prove the fact that he is precise and exact from day one. And I go back to the middle sheet and I bring it up to Melchizedek. This is part 1. I have 100 pages of Torah Kitzvah. You prove all things by the book. Yeah. I don't read the writings of men. Listen to me. Because I'm not trying to ascertain scholarship. I want to teach us. And you can never understand the dynamics of knowledge or scholarship unless you have one ability. That is the ability to hear. You must be able to hear what men say. And through the experience of knowledge, you can examine that critically. You can critique it and show them where they're wrong. For me to understand the Jewish doctrine, I don't see Jews, let me say this, they don't call themselves white men. They call themselves Jewish. They don't identify with being white. They identify with being Jews. And they don't like for you to call them Jews because the word Jew is just as offensive to them as the word in someone like me. And these are facts that are factual, and I can prove what I say all day long by the scholarship of Jewish men. They're scholars, they're writers, they're interpreters. I would not want to read something that opposes what they say. I want to read what one says and listen to how they talk and what they say out of their verbiage, and then the wisdom of their ignorance will speak to me, and I can tell. There's nowhere in the annals of time where there has been or have been intercalaries until the Greekish formation of meton. It is called the metonic cycle. How do I know? I'm a student. It happens every 19 years, and they alter things. And this is massive here. You got those that think they're scholars. Let me say, Akim, daughters of Zion, I work here, I don't fancy around, but I have time to study. I said to her this morning, how many broccoli plants you want for the fall? She says, 500. I said, let me do 2,000. You give some away, it makes me no difference. I said, they'll all come at different times, from 53 days to 68 days to 77 days. And some, like the Arcadia, will even go through the winter. I said, let me do that. How many colors? She thinks in the 100, 200. I think in the 600, 700. I said, because once colors start producing, you eat them even until the fall of next year, the spring. Let me do that. How many cabbages? Maybe 200. Let me do 500. And they all will come in at intervals. Let me do 200 Brussels sprouts, 300 cauliflowers. We understand what's taking place in this crazy world today. We have heard, we have seen the tsunami of weather upon this nation. They call it a bomb cyclone. I stay in touch and conscious of things like that. It has killed over 1 million calves that can be accounted for. So this young farmer in Nebraska, his land, it's not a river, it's an ocean, it's a Lake Erie. His pastures alone is bigger than the largest lake in Nebraska. The other day, the same kind of cataclysmic fell upon that part of the country. They can't plant wheat and sorghum, and they can't plant anything. And so the prognosticators are saying that the price of beef and all of that, they lost over 1 million chickens and layers. Tyson, you would have begun to see the price gradually increase. So I thought, we're selling 9 cows on Tuesday. Behold, go forth, but Yah supplies our needs. We got great hunters here. So I'm going to tear down the lies of darkness that has made the people of YisraYah'ale ignorant, emotional. Isn't that what he said, my friend? They celebrated the Pesach last month when we did. Now they're celebrating the Matzah. It made me angry. I began to talk beyond the decibel of my voice because people buy that. And him trying to explain things, he was more ignorant. I could have put a child there and give me a greater definition. I said to him, my son, watch it. Watch his expression. Watch how he just laughed and the humor of what he says. I said, watch it. You have to watch. Men, you can't do that. I said, just watch the humor. Watch it. I examined all those kinds of things. There is no soberness. There was none to his face. There was nothing sober about that fool. And Michael Rowe was just as simple, childlike as they come. A frivolous laughter and folly. I don't play that. I don't play it at all. And the explanation they gave was just so asinine of stupidity. It was insane. And so I'm going to finish up that booklet today. We get it on a PDF. I want to send it out twice a day. Open the file, read it, print it out. And you that want to challenge me, come challenge me. Let's sit down. Sit down and discuss it. I can challenge you over telephone or email. Let's sit down. I don't type that well to challenge you in email. So we can sit down and we will reason from one place, that's the book. We will define things like the metonic cycle, how it came about. Mathematics of it is beyond a simple ignorant man like me, yet people buy it. Because this is of the workings of the Hellenistic Jews with their Greek culture. They thought the Greeks were smart. Believe me, I know what I'm saying. And I got it all from under the Jewish scholarship of their scholars, men and even women that know the history of the Jewish, quote, Jews, unquote, people of that formation. So I'm not stupid. I wasn't born yesterday. And if I was born yesterday, I couldn't talk. And I know how to be quiet. I don't mind being quiet. But I got a problem with the insane ignorance of this nation and the kind that think and want to teach others when Shabbos say they themselves need to be taught in God. You trying to teach someone? You need to sit down at the feet of Gamaliel. His scholarship and knowledge. Allow him with Shaul's feet. I don't despise a man's intuition or his knowledge about things. But I despise foolishness of ignorance. You can't read 1 or 2 verses. You can't read 3 or 4. I have hundreds upon hundreds. For what reason? Let me get busy. I want to show you how I do things today, okay? Yeah. Is that all right with you all? I want to show you. I want you to follow me along. Yeah. I want to teach today. I finish. There is what the Torah calls an emunah, a faith that is greater than the winds of Yerushalayim. You must understand that was a typhonic type of activities Shaul talks about. But there is no typhoons, but typhonic action can be there. So the word has to have some kind of meaning. It emphasizes and orchestrates something greater than a wind. There's nothing greater than this. I'm going to teach you today.
Hallelujah.
I want to begin, this is a three-part subject, but it deals with one thing. It deals with the Imam, the mother of 7. It begins with the mother, the Imam of 7. Now I will show you how this simple man grabs the scripture, the keys faith, and he gets understanding, because I'm not lazy when it comes to this book.
Yes. Yeah.
I know how to study.
Yes.
I didn't learn that from Evangelist Hartsfield. I didn't learn that from any man that I've met.
Yeah.
But I've always been inquisitive. You don't know the fullness of the story at the beginning, and you don't know what the complication of the story in the middle, and you don't make the end and think you got the little gist of the story, because the story will make you think. You ponder that line and that line and that line. You go back to that line and you go back. It makes you think. So it opens up whether it's fiction or non-fiction. It opens up a trove of the mind to analyze things and process it. That's why they're taught us not to read anymore. We don't like to read. We become illiterate when it comes to reading. The mother of 7, it's a profound thing. Only she can birth the 7. Only she can bring forth the power of Ruach.
Yeah.
She can only birth the 7, the Ruach of fear, the Ruach of... And she is a precious, precious one. And the only way she can birth that, she must have a strong man. And there is none really stronger than Yah. That the benefits of his love makes her strong.
Yeah.
Because he knows how to be affectionately kind to her.
Yes.
He knows how to embrace her. He knows how to speak with her in wisdom. His throne stands in magnificence. She can see the crown of his beauty and the crown of his brilliancy. Why? Because of one thing. His great, powerful, unchanging love for her.
Yeah.
And there is nothing that he holds back. He gives her everything.
Yes.
He gives all of his love.
Yes.
He gives all of his kindness. He gives her nothing but all truth. He's not partial in anything. He's not up, he's not down, he's not twisted, and he's not sideways.
Yeah.
And this is the mother of 7. You'll understand when I finish. This is really about a 3, 4, 5-part series. I'm going to condense it all in one teaching. And I'm going to be done in the next 2 hours, all right? I want to begin here in YHWH. Here's a song that the Novi, as he saw the mastery of Yah, his great hands, he began to sing this song, Isaiah chapter 25, verse 1, and I will skip down to verse 4. He says, "Oh Yah, you are my sovereign master." There is no one else but you. You are the one that has no laws to bind you. You adjudicate all things by the power of your sovereignty.
Yeah.
You sit under no one. No one has the power, even the host of the Shemaiah. You're sovereign. You are the excellent one. And then he said, I rule, I exalt you, I lift up your name, I speak of you. And I will praise, I will esteem your name. Why? He tells him, for you have done fail. You have done wonderful. They're extraordinary. You have done hard things. I know he did a hard thing with me because I was unworthy. For him to open up his truth in such simple ways to me. You have done things that are hard to understand. I don't understand the air, but it's air there. I don't understand what hydrogen, H2O. I don't understand that. I don't understand the hydrogen or the oxygen. And that Yah says is water. You have done wonderful things. And then he says it's your counsel, your advice, your purpose, what you speak, your counsel of old. We must always go back to the letter sheet. They are faithful and they are holy. There's nothing else we're going to rely upon but the counsel and the birth of what the mother of seven put in us. Verse 4 of the same chapter. He says to God, you have been my mamuz, you have been my strength. You have been the perfection of my strength. You have been my refuge or my stronghold. You have been a strength to those that are dull, those that are poor. Do not have the strength. They have not matured with strength. You have been not only to them, but those that are ebron, those that are in great need. I'm in need today. You may not be in need, but he has given strength unto those that are in need. And those that have been subjected to their own oppression, and those that have been captivated by thoughts and things that tries to take power over them. I'm in need more than any man. And I can say that honestly and sincerely. He says you have been a refuge from the zaram, the storm, the downpouring, the tumultuous activities of my mind, the tempest, the overflow, that I get weak. I don't know what to do. You have been the refuge, the place of comfort from the storm. Not only that, but the shadows of death, when they camp about me, when there is a transition of life, you have been a shadow from the horeb, the heat of the desolation of my mind, the doubts, the insecurity. I'm so unsure. You have been all of that to me. That's what he says, the heat. He says, even when those that hate you, when the spirit of the tyrant rises up, it is as a storm against the wall. And this is what God has done. This is his pedigree. He is sovereign. He needs no one else. There's a woman that there's a birth that comes from. There's a wife whereby she knows the power of his truth, his great love, and the greatness of whom he is. And because of that, she birthed something within a nation of people like no one else. Nobody can birth it. Who are you talking about? She's identified right here. So who calls her name? This is the Imam of the seven sons. And I would deal with from the book of the writings, the Maccabees. This is what Shaul says in Galatians chapter 4 and verse 26. He talks about YHWH. He says, but Galatians 4:26. But YHWH, she is unknown. She is from above. In essence, she is eternal. Hallelujah. And that is what the Torah of Yah is. It is eternal. That's what the word of Yah is. It creates and brings forth that eternal promise of Yah, that it becomes alive in us. He says she is eternal. She is eternal. And not only that, but she is free. She is exempt. She's not bound by any circumstances. She's not bound by a law of the flesh. She's only bound unto Yah and the law of his Torah, the righteousness of his Torah. In everything that comes through her loins, she birthed in them the seven. The seven. She had 7 sons, yet she bring forth the 7. Ruach of the fear of Yah, Ruach of wisdom, Ruach of counsel. She bring forth the 7 nations. And I will prove this according to Torah. It says, which is the Ima of us all. She's the mother of us all. She is the mother of us all. She's the mother of us. Every last one of us, we that your house elected, chosen, and placed in her bosom.
Yes.
And her love is so delicate and so beautiful. There is nothing like it. Where has she gotten that from? She has learned it from her Ish. He has taught her the perfection of pure love. Yah is love.
Yes.
We as a man have not learned it by the standards of Yah. We have learned what we call love from the rudiments of every kind of corruption from the world. And it's all sensual.
Yeah.
It has a sensual display.
Yeah.
It has an emotional display. But she had none of that. And YisraYah'ale has none of that at all. And the mother that birthed the seven, when that is birthed within her loins, there's nothing that alters that.
Yeah.
I want to show you her beauty. What comes from her. Hallelujah. Let's turn, because we're going to traverse through Torah. Maccabees. Fourth Maccabees. Beginning here in chapter 15. That's where I'm going to begin. We're going to go through the fullness of Torah to show and to consider what she says, if it's right. Look what it says here in Maccabees 15, verse 5. He tells us, consider, me, have spiritual understanding, consider. We must consider. But the word being is more than just understanding. It is to yada, to know the mind. You must know, you must understand the mind. Consider that mother. Consider her. The mothers of the weaker sex giving birth to many. They are more devoted to their children. I made a statement concerning the mother's love, how she could hold the child through service. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to allow myself to be drenched in pain or drudge. Holding the baby, I will set the child down. That's just me, but it tells of this mother's love. This is the love of the mother of us all. Hallelujah. She has understood the counsel, the mind of YHWH HaMashiach. She has not tried to exude or exalt herself above her husbandman. YisraYah'ale doesn't tell you that your salvation is found in me, but it's in the mind of YHWH HaMashiach, because that is the truth of the sovereign one. So the mother, and they bring forth many. There's none that bring them forth like an Imam. But there's one thing about her, she is devoted. She cares. She considers. She knows. She understands, because she has been taught devotion. Because the Abba teaches devotion. That is the dressing of her city, devotion. You can't be half-cocked pretending. You must be real. And I've found in the last 30 years more that are unreal than you can find. So when you find a gem of a daughter or messenger, a man of Yah, you want to hold fast to that one. I've found so many that are superficial, they're false, and they cannot bear the brunt, the reality of Yah's truth. They run like cowards. Because it is one thing that truth will do. It will always expose my sins, my corruption, my ignorance, and my folly. But he used the word here, consider me, to understand, to know the mind. There's something we must consider. We're going to stay here, Maccabees, all right? We must do this. Consider, nation. Because if we don't, we will become delusional. Hold your finger there. We're going to go through the course of Torah. Isaiah, chapter 57 and verse 1. There's a blessed occurrence in our lives. And that's what the mother of seven teaches us. And she opened the doors of understanding because she knows the mind of Almighty Yah. She tempers us. She devotes herself to us and makes sure that our clothing is clean and makes sure we've been washed in the might of Almighty. But look what the prophet says here. Isaiah 57:1. It says the righteous, the Sadiq perishes, and no man lays it to heart. No one considers a righteous man. And faithful men are taken away. Where are the faithful men? People are faithful to their jobs and their desire. But where are the faithful men? Men. Then he says this, none considers. None considering. That's what he says in Maccabean.
Yes.
Considering, we must, none considering that the Sadiq is taken away from the evil times to come. You see, that's what we're going to conclude with. The righteous, and those that consider that, where are the Sadiq men? Yes. Nobody is righteous today because you are more righteous than everyone. And all of your fallacy, your falsehood, you're more righteous than everyone. You exude you exude your logics and your thinking, but you don't exude what the Torah of Yah says. But the mother, the imah of righteousness that teaches us, she shows us, no one even considered that a righteous man is removed from us. She saw her husband removed from her. And all those that tyrant and all didn't even consider. And those that said they love Yahweh, they never considered that he defied the order of every violent thing that came up against him. And so Elazar, he was this YHWH type. He was a type of the master that Yah is. And he birthed within her. She is the type of the mother above. She is Yerushalayim. And she opens the wisdom of Yah that has been poured out upon her in favor. Yes. So she considers that my sons, and all that you have granted, no one considers the righteous when they are removed from us. There's so much folly today, nation. You hardly can find one that is Sadiq. Maccabees, we're going to go through that chapter. It says in chapter 15, verse 6, it says the imah of the 7 boys. She was a mother Maccabean, 4th Maccabeans, chapter 15, verse 6. She was the imah of 7 boys, children. We must understand the number 7 in the hierarchy of Yah's time, what it indicates. The 7 ru'achim, the 7 assemblies of Asia. There's so many multiples of just that one word. We're going to deal with the 7 councils, or the 7 ru'achim of Almighty Yah, what she births in her children. It says the image of 7 boys, more than any other mother. Tell me a mother like the mother Baum. She was greater than any other mother. There was not a mother like her. She did not walk in folly and foolishness. It says more than, not partial. She was more. She was abundantly more than other imam. There was not another one like her. There was not one that could birth the power of your strength like her. There is no other imam that can birth the ruachim of Yah in us that comes out of our mother above, because she gets it directly from Yah's mouth. As one would say, straight from the horse's mouth. She gets it directly from the visit of Yeshua HaMashiach, because she knows that that is the power of Almighty Yah. There was no other one like her. She loved her children. And when you love your children, you instill something in them that nothing will cause them to cross the line. You put it in them, they will never cross the line. You drop it into them, how? Do it by love, nation. Love is not this fudgy foolishness we call love. That's not love, it's folly. She put something in them, and she did it all by love. Yah does it all by love. He doesn't reward us for our sins immediately, and we take it for granted. We think we've gotten by, but you haven't gotten by. You haven't sown anything that you're not going to reap. We're going to reap it. She loved her children. In 7 pregnancies, she had Hanun. She had implanted in herself tender love, Chava, toward them. You get that, what she had implanted? It was a kind benevolence, of sincerity, gentleness. But the word she implanted, she had renewed them. She had renewed their minds. She did that daily. Why? Because her love made her do that. The love for caring made her do that. And Yah's love for us can remind us of our sins and our corruption, our evil ways. He renews our minds, and He calls it to be renewed daily, continuously. But she implanted nation. She implanted in herself. What have we implanted within ourselves? I want to show us something about that word implant, all right? I know we read, and that's all we do. We don't study. I want to read to show you the exact word in the Greek, but it's pronounced differently. Jacob, James. This is what we must implant in us. That image, she received nothing but Torah. She received the word, didn't she? All day. And the word implanted that in her. She had an ish that constantly spoke with great fervor of the greatness of Yah's great strength and beauty. That's what she had. And all of that was implanted in her. As she watched His love, she knew how Yah loved him. As she saw the benefit of His love, and as she saw that it made her more kinder and benevolent to Him than He could ever imagine. That's what real love does. That's what real love does. Look at this in Jacob, saying truth. James 1:20. Listen to what he says. For the wrath of man, it doesn't bring about the sadiq, the righteousness, the personality of Almighty Yah. He tells us all this. Wherefore, knowing that, let us all lay aside, lay apart all of our filthy ways, our superfluity, our hypocrisy, of things that are naughty, of naughtiness. Look at what he says. And receive the meekness of the engrafted, the implanted, the engrafted. When something has been grafted against something, they take light, they take plants, they graft them together. You can't tell where it's been grafted. It's implanted and taken hold of the engrafted word, which is able to deliver your nefesh. That's the only thing. It must be implanted in us, nation. Ifum os. It is a renewing that has been implanted. It has been implanted, and that is what she implanted by the process of her husband. He implanted that what Yah had poured into him, into her. And as she implanted that in the heart for her children, and she governed that in the heart of her 7 sons. And that's what the Ruachim of Yah would do. It would govern us in everything. It will correct us, because it will bring back to remembrance the truth of Yah's matter. We think that we are righteous. We think that everyone else is doing wrong. But you don't see your damnable, evil, twisted, wicked ways. That's the way we think. You think that he's doing you wrong. and you don't even see how wrong you're doing him. Because he's wrong, you're always right. It is always him and never me. You see, she saw his power as a man. She saw his realness, his sincerity. He wasn't superficial. He was real. He was real. And so because of your own filthiness, you were trying to break him down. You will bring him down, but not the mother that birthed the seven. No, she will not bring him down. Even of his heels, she will not speak against that. Even of his faulty ways, she will not destroy him. She will love him because she knows that that love is going to produce, as I learned. I've learned the process of love from him. I've learned how to love. You have learned how to do things because the one you've learned from hasn't taught you right. And you have not allowed that engrafted word to be implanted in you. Yes. All we do is have a feeling for me. We have a feeling for me. Yes. She, he did, they did. That's all we have. It's one of the most evil things upon the face of the earth. I'm not going to miss the mark on this teaching, all right? Yeah. We must get that engrafted. We must have an implant. Yes. We must allow the word of God to be implanted into our mind. That's what this mother said. Someone had to perform the procedure. And her husband performed the procedure. He will talk of the greatness and the power and the truth of Yah. He abandoned everything that was not of Torah. He did not eat the swine's meat. He did not play in their folly and their frivolity. He was not a clown. He didn't do any of that. Yeah. His own nature was serious. Yes. And that carried him beyond his own ability. We must get this truth, the engrafted word. It must be implanted in us, nation. It must be implanted in us. Why? Because that's the only thing that's going to keep you. And it kept them. It kept her sons. It kept him. And he laid that down to her. And she was able to impart that into her sons. Yeah. We find a weak generation that capitulates about everything. Changing all the time. They hear something today. It's new to them. They transition from what has kept them, held them, trying to walk through to Yah, and they make the transition with nothing there at all. Listen, back to Maccabees chapter 15, verse 7. She talks about the many pains because of the many SHABBAT, not some pains, but the many sorrows she suffered. With each of them, she had a great sympathy and a great love for them. You tell me Yah doesn't see the many pains, but his heart is not pained because of us and because of what we do. That's why there is nothing like an imah upon the face of the earth. There's nothing like a mother. In the days, that was an old proverb, there's nothing like true mother's love, because she disciplines, she brings order, and she brings honor. Why? Because she knows that her rush has imparted into her all the substance that is needed to make sure that everything is in the order of Yah's application and nothing else. We have all missed the mark. We have missed the mark profoundly. You husbands, you wife, we have missed the mark. Why? Because we didn't see the birth of our mother. We didn't see what was in the gates of our mother. And that's why. But what are the many SHABBAT? What are the many sorrows? What are the many pains? She had seen the many pains. She had endured them. But Sirach tells me something here in Sirach chapter 51, verse 1. Sirach 51, verse 1. He says this in the midst of this great prayer. It says, I will give Torah to you, Yah. I will give Torah to all things to you. He identifies Almighty Yahweh. He identifies that he is the Melech and King. He said, I will exude, I will praise you, oh Yah, my Redeemer. That's sad. But we something like this that makes us want to exude or extol him. You are sick creatures. We are sick when there is no emphasis in our hearts, in your homes. Damn this wicked world. They do every kind of evil thing. And for me to be subdued, I'm not ashamed of this, what my mother has put in me. I'm not, my emotions, my feelings don't make me operate in this. You understand that? I will give Torah unto you, Yah, you're my king. And I will praise you, Yah, my redeemer. I give Torah, I praise your name. We don't do that. We don't do that in our homes. Even when we know nothing else, we could sing the Yah, told the Yah. To the Yah for the blessings of Yahshua. Nothing else. You walk through your house. You walk through your house. Don't say it to pretend. You do it. He says, I give Torah to your name, for you have been my protector. You've been my special Ezra, and has delivered my body from destruction and from the snares of the liars and the slanderous tongue, from lips that utterly lie. You know they lie. From those lips you've delivered me. Before those who stood before you wasn't my helper. They pretended, but they were liars. They were false. They did not have the sincere nature of Yah in them. Let me say this. There is no one that has come here and have done what they have done surprised me one bit, because I know men, whether they think I do or not. That's why when I was telling our Zachin, I leave myself free from the Achin, not that I'm better, to give them time to congregate and fellowship, because I take over things. I don't like to do it. But when I talk, I know what I'm saying. And it's not that I throw hints, I'm talking to us as a people. Look what he says in verse 3. And you did deliver me in the greatness of what? His kindness. Yes. That's how y'all deliver, in the greatness of his great kindness. Yes. And of your name. He's kind to us. Hallelujah. Yes. There was a man that said to me many years ago, I want to be kinder to you than you are to me. Yes. I didn't throw that aside. I took hold to it. And I promise in my own heart, I will be greater of kindness to him, Yah, than he could ever be. He gave me a check one day. He made mention of 10,000, 15,000, whatever you want. Write the check. When I got the check, I'll deduct it. And I looked at this man, that how generous his heart was to me, and how kind he trusted me. And I wanted to make sure I solidified that trust of his heart. I wrote the check for $325. I didn't say I should have taken 5,000 or 10,000. I wanted him to know that I would never allow anything of this substance to come against us. And he come against me. When I began to keep the Shabbat, he spoke violent against me. Wrote a letter that was so evil. But the kindness that he said, he wanted to be kinder to me. You see, I've gone back to visit the man 2 or 3 times. And the 3rd time, they will not let me see it. And he comes, and he will come right down here to Southeastern to buy parts. I said, you can turn right off and let me know you're coming. And if you don't find that this is up, y'all, what we're doing, y'all burn the whole place down. He's never been. I don't even know if he's still alive. And that's just the truth. So no man gets by me. And they're intelligent, they're thinking. I just don't try to bombard men. Because all that Yah placed within us, let us be at shalom with all men. Let us just, come on brothers, My wife and I disagree, but that doesn't mean I don't live in shalom with her. And this is a coward generation.
Yes.
They're cowards. Listen to what he says. In Sirach, he says, and they delivered me in the greatness of your kindness and of your name from the gnashing teeth about to devour me. From the hand of those that sought my life, and from the many affliction, from the many pains, from the many sorrows, from the many chabel that I endured. And the same thing with this mother. She endured many chabel. There were many pains upon her. There was all kinds of tossing and turning. But she trusted. She trusted in the birth that she had received from her Rush, because she knew that that was birth in Yerushalayim. It was birth from the heavens above. It was not some kind of a science or constitution of any man. It had come from above nation, and she birthed, she travailed with her sons, because she knew in that travailing and in those pains, they would understand, they would know, and understand the vitalness of that, and the importance of that pain. We don't have that today. Men can't even suffer with one another. That's why everybody is segregated from one another. Bring the whore down, yeah. Bring it down, bring this dirty slut. You want to suffer, that's all right. I don't mind suffering with you. I don't mind going out looking for pork salad and me having to dig a ditch to trap a deer or something. We're not going to hunt the swine all around here or eat the rabbits or the squirrels. I don't mind that suffering with you. I don't mind that nation. This world is selfish. It doesn't care about anything or anyone, and they know. It's sad that you know everything. I don't want to know everything. I don't want to. I always want to be taught. I don't want to know everything. I don't want to be smart. Because when you become that, when you become arrogant, you listen to no one, and you have not acquired the knowledge of matter through a diligent effort of studying. You've heard somebody say something. It tells you something, just one little thing, and you buy it. I don't buy it. I don't buy it. That's me. Maccabees chapter 4, 4th Maccabees 15:8. It says, because the fear of Yah, she disdained the temporary safety of her children. Nothing meant anything to her because she had, you see, the fear of Yah, that's one of the rechem. Because she had the fear of Yah, she had disdain. She did not care about her safety. She didn't care what others thought. She didn't care what others said. She didn't care what the tyrant had done to her ish. She didn't care. That's what it says. It says this, yet because the fear of Yah, she disdained. She had hatred for the temporary safety of her children. She said, these going to go just like the father went. She had disdain for it. She brought them in the fullness of Yah's counsel. And that's what the mother YHWH does. There's no falsehood in her pillars. There's no schisms in her truth. She had disdain for the safety of her children. Why? Because of the fear of Yah. It's one thing that the fear of Yah will produce in a song. Shaul lets me know that's why she feared Yah. 2 Corinthians. Because of the fear of Yah, is that what it was that she had? No concern about safety. Shaul says 2 Corinthians 7:1. She knew the promises of Yah nation. She knew the promises of Yah. Shaul says, having therefore these promises, having this dabarim, having therefore these promises, everything that he spoke to you, Everything that comes from Mother Yerushalayim, we have promises of Yah. It is His promise of His Torah. Yahshua fulfilled that all. Having therefore these promises, dearly beloved, first of all, let us cleanse ourselves from all of our filthy ways. That's why we must have this Torah implanted into us. And it begins with my filthiness. It doesn't begin with yours, it begins with my filthy ways. We must lay aside all of our filthy ways, all of our filthy ways of the flesh and the ruach. And then we will perfect the purity of His Kadosh. We become set apart. How are we going to do it? In the fear. Hallelujah. In the fear of Yah. Is that how she taught her son? She laid aside their safety. Yeah. She said, I'd rather move in the fear of Yah than to give my sons things that are superficial, and I know that they are false. Yeah. She moved in the fear of Yah. She disdained all other things, things that she could afford or accommodate them with. She had disdain for all of that. Yes. I moved to a better neighborhood. There is no better neighborhood. Yeah. There are things that happen in the Bel Air and that happens that are much more violent and reprehensible in the hood. Yes. That they rape your babies and they take your babies and they got places where they put the babies and do evil things to women. You think they all Mr. Dignified? Some evil, you're moving to a better place. She had hatred. She despised. Yeah. One saying you got to be careful what you teach them. Don't let the Pharaoh, don't let the tyrant hear you say that. She had disdain for their safety. Yes. She said, I know whose hands I stand in. Yes. We got to know that. Yes. And we do just like what Shaul said. Yes. She didn't have no filthy ways. Her ways weren't dirty and evil. She wasn't a liar. She wasn't a pretender. There is no way she can impart that in her sons. And you think it's the man. No, it's you, daughter. It's you, my friend. You think it's her. It's you, man. He didn't tell you to cleanse me. He told me to cleanse me. He didn't put that in your hand to cleanse anyone. You need to clean your filthy, wicked mind. Do you think you're clean? You're filthy. You're wicked. She didn't have, she had disdain. Boy, you do what I said. I said. She had disdain. She didn't worry about what congregants said. Those police. She did what was right. And that's what we have to do, nation. Train our children up right in the ways of Yah. And when they are old, I believe that they won't depart. You train them up right. They will not. We got to clean ourselves from the filthiness of the flesh and ruach. And then we must perfect, become complete and clean, pure in the pure separation or the set apartness. And the only way we're going to be set apart is through the fear of Yah. Through the fear of Yah. You're not going to do it any other way. You're arrogant and boastful. You're not going to do it, nation. And that's how it must be done in the fear of Yah. That's why she was like no other daughter. There was plenty of her days that had more than she had. But they were not like her. There are many mothers, Buddhism and Jewishism and all of that, their mothers, they birthed that seed in them when they're babies. They birthed them in rituals and performance. But yet she was a mother. She birthed the 7 Ruachim and the delight of Yah in her sons. She imparted that in them. Why? Because it was in her. You ever go into a place and they feel all filthy? You know it's filthy. You know things are not right. But when they will wake up, they will see the rightness of her. They will see the glow and the beauty of her. They will see the praises of Yah and the praises of Yahshua in her. She will told the Yah for the word, told the Yah for the comfort of that truth that was spoken about Elizia, that caused her heart to delight. And she wanted to hear. We don't want to hear what Yah says. We don't want to speak about the word. We don't want to talk about the word. That's just our nature. We don't want to talk about his kindness. We don't want to talk about what he says. But to show ourselves smart, smarter than everyone. I don't want to be a smart man. I see the smartness of what the world is in. I don't want to be smart like that. I want to be a repentance man. You show me, Yah. That's right. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. You know, there are those that can show me where I'm wrong, but they're right. There are people that can show me you're wrong about that, but how right are you? What makes you right? What solidifies your rightness? We're evil. What makes you right? I don't tell them they're wrong. The word tells them. I'll respond, I don't mind being wrong. I have no pride or arrogance. I'm wrong. But prove to me how wrong I am from the book. Not by your opinion. Not by how you feel. Not by lies. Go to the book. Send me verses. Send me scripture. And I don't mind repenting, but I'm wrong. I want to be wrong. Because he is right all the time, nation. He is right. He's never wrong. So I don't care about being wrong. And I would tell you I'm wrong all the time. I'm never right. But I know one thing. This book is right. This book is right. This book is right. And I know that. And that's a fact. Hallelujah. We must purify ourselves. And the mother kept the sons right. She moved in the fear of Yah. People will say, I fear Yah, but we don't fear him. It's a fallacy. Because when you fear the police behind you, you slow down. You get nervous. You make sure that everything is right. You make sure you're under the speed limit. And that's just a fact. When you fear losing your job, you're there on time. I know I was. You didn't miss days. There's no fear in this generation. Why? Because there is no honor. Truth, yeah. We should honor all men. I don't care how wrong he is, because I was wrong too, and I still am. Prove to me, any of you all that listen to me, prove where I'm wrong. Give me scripture. Yeah. You don't even have to explain it to me, because I'll explain it to you. There is no intercalaries. It's a lie. And these that call themselves Jews, the Jewish, they have lied to the people. They have lied. Yah doesn't need 1 second added to his time. He needs no intercalary. He doesn't need an extra month or an extra day. Our brothers and sisters are all over the world. He did not just gather them here to America, to the islands of the sea, Mexico. He scattered them in the areas, the four corners of the world, in every place. Their skin colors, every color. Some have never even, and don't even see the sun. It's cold all year for them. You're going to tell me Yah acts? He doesn't act. That's why you don't add or take anything away from this book. Woe unto you. Prove to me by Torah, not by some philosophy of some man. Prove to me by the book. Can I proceed on further? Yes. Well, I shall proceed. Going back to Maccabees 59. Not only so, but also because of the nobility of her son. That's all right, because they were beautiful sons. They were strong. Look at what she says. And they're ready obedience. to the Torah. They had a readiness of mind to obey what Yah said. Because their readiness of mind, be ye ready. They had a readiness of mind, the Levi, to what? The Torah. She felt a greater love, a tenderness for them. You tell me that the mother is not like that? She knew that they had walked circumspectly before Yah. The hearts were clean and ready. And when they discerned one small infraction, when they discerned one small thing, this is what they did. Can I show you what they did?
Yeah.
Will you believe it?
Yeah.
Well, Shaul tells me here in 2 Corinthians. This is how we must always be ready in the obedience of the Torah. And that's why she had a greater tenderness. And that's why Yah has a greater love for us. 2 Corinthians 10:6, one verse. It says, and having a readiness. Is that what it implies?
Yes.
We must have a readiness to what? To revenge all disobedience. When your obedience is fulfilled. And that's what they did. They had a ready obedience to the Torah. When you know it's wrong, you must have a readiness. You must be willing. Then she taught them that. That's what the mother will teach us. You can't put it off till tomorrow. You cannot prolong it. You cannot continue doing it. You must be ready at all times. Because you don't know when he's coming. And you must have the readiness. We must have a ready mind. Our minds must be ready to identify everything that is filthy about me. You must do that. And we have played around so long and too long, our minds are not ready. There is no readiness. To be ready, well, to have a readiness, there's a preparation. You must learn this. You must sleep on this. You must pray on this. You must study this. You must read it. You must. And it prepares the mind to be ready. These are Akeem hunt around here. They don't wait till September to get ready. They're doing it now. They're doing it now. They're doing it now. They're looking at places. They're going back and they're seeing if any changes. They're looking for new places. And readiness is always prepared. And you must constantly prepare yourself. You must search the scripture and see if these things that I say, see if they be true. We must have the readiness of the Bereans to search, believe. You don't understand, but you must search the scripture. No writings of no man. You must search the scripture. See if these things be true. That's how you know it. Search the scripture for the intercalaries or the leap. You search them, you will never find it. You will never find it. You will never. It's not there. You're lying on Yah. All of it. They're going to celebrate like dogs this weekend here. It's evil. My friend, when we looked at that clip the other day, Ahmad Kos, did that man say we've already celebrated Pesach? And we're celebrating Masfa, and he had a beard down to here, didn't he? You couldn't tell him he's not a Jew. Now, him and his sidekick, you couldn't tell him that clown. And I became infuriated. My friend looked and he said, I know that's not what he said. There's nothing in 1 Kings 4. He said, many people don't understand. You're a liar. You have injected some unrighteousness in the Torah of Yah, man. And one said we rent hundreds of rooms. We prepare for the Pesach. But the Abid. No, Yah says in the first month. In the first month. Now for you in Yerushalayim, if everything is pure, right? But that place is just as defiled with more faggots than San Francisco. There's faggot gay parades and all of that. I heard a man, they called them the Louisiana Three. They spent one man. I listened to him yesterday, the other day before. Can I tell you what he said? He spent 43 years in solitary confinement. Do you hear me? 43 years. And when I see stuff like that, it makes me cry, you know. I'm looking at this man. He had such a beautiful spirit because he was fighting for the cause of people that look like me. He looked just like me. He was so far behind, his fro was like that. Still calling this way. And this is what he said that caught my attention. He says, to be separated, locked in a cell for 23 hours out of 24, you don't realize what it does to the body. It's not, I've seen men go crazy, lose their mind. I've seen it all. He said, you don't realize what it does to your body. He said to be locked down that long. You're never even interacting with no one. That's cruel. That takes a monster to do something like that. At least that was a city of safety. You committed a sin, and then if you murder someone, then the judicial process would take hold. That's evil. That's evil. Yah doesn't even do that. That's an evil mind, sadistic. He said, when I would get a chance, he said, even the food, my oxygen, he said, I could get out, and when this man didn't even see the sun. He was in lockdown. He said, I would get out and I could just run and run and run and run and run. He said, I didn't get tired. He's an old man. And they just let him out of prison. 43 years. 43 years. And when this light of truth shines, it changes the whole dynamics of your brain, how you think, how you walk, how you live. We trust everything and everyone. That's why Yah commands us to know them. I don't hide anything when people come visit me. They know where I live. I don't have no food catered to me. Then we should know them that labor among us. We will believe someone, we don't know nothing about them at all. We will buy what they say. And we believe what they say. You don't know anything. I don't have no hidden history of my life. I've not been a rapist. I've never been a pedophile. I've never touched another woman. I've never cheated or lied. I've never stole money. I've never taken money from us. I've never done that. I don't care what you say. I don't take it from me. Yet you hear some damnable stranger. Don't even know I've had the many do that to me. But it doesn't trouble me. And those who live with me, and all of a sudden, he's wrong. It's sad. So we must yada. In order to know them, you got the experience. You have experienced me since you were a young lad. You know what I'm about. Young man, you know what I'm about. And they'll go by something. There is no leap year, my friends. There's no leap day. Yah's time is always on time. Don't even try to study the sun, the stars, and don't even try it. Don't even think you can figure it out. Because you can't. If you can't believe what he put in the order of time, you're not going to believe it if you even know. Because there is a prince in the heavens, all right? There is a prince of the powers of the air. Hallelujah. You can tell when he gets up. The other day, the children, when we were out there, they said, Mommy, what is that? Well, to me, I said, it looked like a Chinook. You should know helicopter. You can they fly about 175, 200 miles an hour. About 175, 180. And so this one says, what is a Chinook? I said, well, it's a helicopter, and it's a military strike force of a helicopter. It's a gun. They have guns and all those kinds of things. And come right in, set it over the place, put a bullet every inch. I said, that's what that is, a Chinook. That soldiers, they can rappel down and they can just overtake things, but it's really a gun ship. It's meant to shoot and kill. and destroy. That's what it's for. And we are a nation of people. We don't want to know each other. You know why we don't want to know each other? Why we have not learned each other? Because we're always looking to find something that's wrong and somebody doing something wrong. I don't have to look for that. God can look at me. You can look at you. I know what I'm saying. And that's a fact. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Moving on. This is how we find that obedience. Once we know what is obedience, we must revenge all of that, have a readiness to revenge. That's what we must do. Going on to Maccabees 15 verse 10. For they were righteous, and they were self-controlled, and they were brave, and they were magnanimous. They were handsome and strong, virile and mighty. You tell me the world produced virile men? Magnanimous and beautiful young men. They produce effeminate boys and sissified boys because they're taken by every opinion, everything everyone else is doing. That's what they're doing. That's just the fact of the matter. But they were magnanimous. They were dynamic, and they loved their brothers and their mother. And that is what those that are birth is strange. That we can hear the words of someone that doesn't even know Yah, don't even call on the name of Yah. They use Jesus and Lord and all those damn lies. That's what Mr. Root does. And he's careful with those that he calls, those of the Jewish council, because he knows they will damn his dirty dog, Jesus Christ. He knows that. He knows it. You tell me that's not the plight of hypocrisy? You tell me that he denied Yahshua HaMashiach for these clowns of jackasses? I would not. There's enough money on this earth that will make me do that. There's enough prestige, because there's no prestige. Because I'm going to die. Fool. And you are too. They love their brothers. And so greater love than that. Nobody's going to know you a Talmudim of Yah unless you love your brothers and sisters. This is all men will know. You deny everything about you. You lay down everything from the brotherhood, from the sisterhood. That's what they do in their damn Greek sororities and fraternities. They lay it all down for each other. That's what the Bloods and the Crips do. They die for each other. We won't even die out of our wicked sins.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
You lay down your life. No greater love than this, that you lay down your life for a friend, for your neighbor. That's how you know she taught them well. She taught them how to love each other. You'll hear me say that I wanted 12 girls, because I wanted 8 girls and 5 sons. It wouldn't have been bad if we had 16. I had them all dressed and marching to the beat of truth. Yes, I would have. And I would have not worried about them falling away. I'm just being honest with you. I would not have. That's a discipline as we get older, that we put in children. They never, because y'all said they would turn away. And I believe that. Why? Because they loved each other. That's something that what love does. There are men that they have walked in truth all their life. 4 or 5 of them brothers and 3 or 4 sisters. And they are still strong, and they stay together like that. And they are around each other, and they stay with each other. Something is sick with us as a nation, as a people. They love their brothers and they love their mother. They love their brother and they love their mother. They get smart mouth with their mother, and they will not belittle their brother. My brothers have done me wrong, but my older brother, I never talked down to him. My brother that came here like a fool, I said, man, get off these grounds. You're not going to come here and bestow that spirit on these grounds. Get off these grounds. Did we feed him?
Yes.
You sure? Did we go out there and did he pick all the greens he wanted?
Yeah.
If I could have that kind of regard for a man that is corrupt and nasty, you think, son, that I'm going to lie to you and try to cheat you and to my daughter here? I'm not going to do it, son. We got $1, we got $1. You need 90 cents of it, take 90 cents. I'll make the 10 cent work, believe me. I'm not going to steal. And I've never stolen. I've never taken monies from here to satisfy some proclivity of some evilness of me. And that's just a fact. They love each other. They care for each other. Hallelujah. It says the brothers in verse 10, for they were righteous, they were sadiq, and they had that self-control, they were brave, and they were magnanimous, and they loved their brother and their mother, and for they obeyed her, even to death in keeping the ordinance. And that's profound, isn't it? Even to death, they obeyed her. Even to death. Can I open that up a little bit?
Yes.
This one, it says in Matthew 26:38. Then says Yahweh HaMashiach to them. He says, my nephesh is exceedingly sorrowful. For what reason? Even to death. Tarry you here, just watch with me. My being is all caught up. For what reason? Because of this battle, because of this even to death. And they obeyed her. And they obeyed her is what it said. Even to death. Did Yahshua obey the Abba?
Yes.
Even to death. Is he the expression of Yah's love?
Yes.
Even to death. He said even to his death. Why? Because there was one thing that he strove for, that the power of Yah's truth may be made known unto us. I can prove that now.
Yeah.
There's a command. I will read it and tell you where it's at. I want you to hear this. One that was brilliant in the knowledge of Yah. He says strive. Strive to what? To enter in?
Yes.
Where? To the straight gate. So striving is an effort, an energy, a passion, and a desire that goes beyond one's capabilities or abilities. You must give it all. I don't care if you miss the mark, but you strive. You put it all in there. You give it all for that. He says, strive. This is what the messenger says. Even to the death. For what? For the truth. For the truth. And Yahweh the Almighty, one who will fight for you. You always strive. Strive for the truth. Even to the death. Even to the death. You strive for the truth. For what reason, Shadrach? He says, even to the death for the truth. Strive even to the death for the truth, and Yah the Almighty One will fight for you. And they knew that. They were obedient, Yahshua, even unto the death. Because there was no hell gates of death. That Yahshua 3 days and 3 nights, he was not punished by death. He didn't stink, his body didn't rot. Even to the death, we trust, we strive. Even to the death or the disbanding of our own natural ways and the corruption of our sins, we must strive. Yeah. Even to the death, that sin has no power, no rule, has no power to dictate us or anything. And Yahshua, he even said, stay here with me. Stay here just for a moment with me. Why? Because of the sorrowfulness even of the death. And don't think that we're not going to need someone when we go through that great corridor. Yes. Stay by me. There's nothing I know you can do, but just stay by me. I won't remember nothing after I'm gone, but just stay there. That's enough to comfort me. And knowing that Yah, he is the one that will fight for you. And they knew that. That's what that Mother YisraYah'ale puts in us. She puts that in us. That confidence of Yah. That wisdom of Yah. That fear of Yah. That knowledge of Yah. That ability to discern of Yah. That was found what I just read. Sirach. Chapter 4 and verse 28. I will prove all things by Torah. I will make sure there's a balance in what is said in Maccabees. And there's a witness in the fullness of this book. Because if it isn't, it means nothing at all. Verse 11 of Maccabees, nevertheless, though so many factors influence the imam to suffer with them. Why? Out of love. And Yah has suffered with us even out of his great love. Yeah. Out of his care, out of love for her children. Yes. In the case of none of them were the various torches strong enough to salaf, to pervert them, to distort or twist their thinking for a reason. She said, I love them, I could lie and get them out. But there's nothing that's going to make me change my mind and cry, please, tyrant, deliver my son. Their mothers and fathers, knowing their son did that evil, and they have turned them in. And the father said, you know I didn't teach you to do that. And he questions his own love and the mother for her own son or her own daughter. You'll be surprised in this world how many daughters in prison for life because they were taken by some silly boy believing it's love. And they went to do something that was so evil. Yes. And she will never see a day outside of the prison house all of her life, neither will he. And through all of that, YisraYah'ale, it says that through all of that, everything, they were tortured in great ways. There was nothing that was salaf, to distort, to pervert. That's what it says, to pervert, does it not? Yes. To pervert their reasoning. Because they knew the way they were on was right. She did. Yes. She had been birthed, she had walked the streets of YHWH. Her mother brought her down every pathway of YHWH. Yes. She knew the ins and outs of that city. I'm using that as the metaphor that YHWH is the mother path. Yeah. How do I know that? Shaul walked the streets of YHWH. Look at how he gives us understanding of what Sirach says here, whereby it was not even strong enough to pervert them. Shalom. He says in Naaseth, Shilishia, or the Acts, chapter 13. Chapter 13, verse 9, all right? Acts 13:9. It says, then Shaul, filled with Haruach HaChodesh, set his eyes upon Yahshua, this one that had great power among the people to bewitch their minds and to subdue them. And this is what he said. You see, those young men said, you're full of your lies, tyrant. I'm not afraid to tell a man or a woman you're wrong. Your concept is wrong. Prove it to me in the Torah. There are not that many people listening to me, but I will confess I was wrong. You can't do it. You cannot, my friend. And that's a fact. Yeah. Joe was filled with Haruach HaKodesh. Set his eyes on him. And that's what he says in verse 10. And said, oh, full of subtlety. You're full of lies, Mirma. You're full of deceit. Oh, full of deceit. And you're full of all, not some, but all mischief. All lies and corruption. You're treacherous. You're deceitful. You're lying. You're a thief. There's nothing like a mischief person. Yes. They will turn their backs on you and stab you. Yes. They won't sit down and say, let's reason. What do you think of this? Yes. They're full of mischief. Yes. He said, and you, and we think we're going into the kingdom. I'm not going to do you like that, sister, daughter. I'm not going to do you like that, brother. Yes. I'm not going to do that. Yeah. He says, he called him a child of Hashatan. These Jewish lies have come from the gutters of hell. There is no leap month. There is no 13th month. Enoch talks about 364. When you celebrate 365, I don't celebrate any of it.
Yeah.
But in yours, yeah, I don't celebrate any of it.
Yeah.
But I know the season and the time by the mandate of Yah. How could that be? They celebrated Pesach last month, and they're celebrating Matzah this month. I'm going to share with the people and us the different. You know, it's one thing about the Greek culture. They had so many different calendars. For the agri side, for those of business, and they were all different. The names, the months. The world has all kinds of calendars, but there's not one that supersedes Yah. He didn't intend for them to understand. He intended for the world to have confusion of time, because they know when is he coming in what hour. You don't know. Well, he's coming in the spring of the year at Pesach. Tell that to the brothers in South Africa. They're in the winter time. Tell that to our brothers there that are the Mongolians. Never get spring there, and they sure ain't not growing no wheat there. Tell that to those that are north of us here, who started the barley or the wheat. They can't even put the wheat in the ground until about now. And you know one thing about their wheat? It's called red wheat. That's where you get the red wheat from. It's better than the wheat here. It's much better. It costs more. You don't believe me? Go to Lehman Brothers. When we were growing the wheatgrass in the greenhouse, I didn't get the wheat from Rana. I ordered the wheat from Lehman Brothers. That organic red wheat. It's better. The color is different. It endures that coldness takes something for that root to get established in that cold. The ground temperature is not the same. You can't put a squash in the ground up there now. You can't put squashes in the ground in places like Minnesota now, or Iowa, or Idaho. I can right here. Matter of fact, we're going to play some next week. We're going to get a few little chilly nights. Squash is not going to do well. 40-degree nights. It's a fact. So what do you tell them? He's coming in the springtime? Well, they're waiting in the springtime, whereby it's winter time. How are they going to know? It's crazy. He gave us one of the most powerful things to tell time. And times change and days. Last year today was not like last year today, all right? He changed not. He laid in motion a process of time for us to know. And that's how it's done. And who is the authoritarian? And who has cipher? Give me the verses. Show me, my friends, if you all are welcome it. Yah says there's an intercalary. It's a lie. I know where it comes from. I've studied it too much. I'll start putting this book together in 2011. Nobody's going to hear me because I'm nothing. I'm a nobody. And I'm glad I'm nothing. There here a Michael Rood on the Hemi that Elias tell you that the reason that there is an intercalary is because of 1 Kings chapter 4. I say, go on and read it, son. You don't find nothing in there. But most people don't. Now, forgive me. People don't understand it. And these ones that tout that lie, they don't understand it. We know that Hashatan is the father of all lies. You're wrong, my friends. You're wrong. They go bump. Easter's this weekend coming. They're going to bump with the Easter boys. Why do you think Easter always fall in the spring? And that's what they call Pesach, the Matzvah. Because they use the same, they are the only two religions that use that calendar. Not Islam. Because they'll float all the way through the year. Because that's the way it's really supposed to be. And we have learned from the deception of the mind of those that call themselves Jews. There's only 2 holidays always this time of the year. Easter and Pesach. Because the intercalaries and the mechanic cycle, that's why they use it. Every so many years, they change things up. 3, 4, 7, 3. I've got the chart. And they change things up. It's a 19-year cycle. And they base it upon his study of the celestial bodies. Now they can see everything. They got telescopes that can see beyond seeing. They can see beyond outer darkness. This man can only visual look at things and look at the pattern of stars. And he's going to tell you, and the moon, there's nothing. You have 1 million stars out there. I've seen it. You can have a full moon, it shines above all of them. You can have that slither, you can see 1,000 stars all around. You will see that slither. It all has to do with this Judaism, their Hellenistic ways, and them, and how they would inform others. There's a reason why, it's in the book. I don't want to get off on that. But I want to put all that in part of this. I want you all to read. I got it. I got it. I wanted to see. There's no commentary. But it's sad to see brothers and sisters so easily persuaded. We must prove all things. Just prove it.
Yeah.
Prove it. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
So who said you full of mischief, you're a child of the devil, you're the enemy of all something, of all righteousness. Why? Will you not cease to pervert? Those boys did not pervert the way of Yah by their reasoning. And Shaul says to this one, will you not cease to pervert the right way of Yah? Would you not cease to pervert the Torah of Yah? That's what the right way of Yah is. It is the Torah. And these men have sought to pervert the Torah, the right way of Yah. That's why we must be birthed from this mother. No, we can't do as Nicodemus asked, but we can get the engrafted, the implanting of the Torah in our minds, nation.
Yeah.
You're not going back in time. We must have the implant.
Yes.
We must have the implant.
Yes.
We must have the implantation. And we will not seek to pervert the word. We will not seek to change the word. That's so sad that we will believe that this artificial generation of men, superficial. You know what Yah said to Moshe? I was studying that this morning. In essence, he said, damn all of them. I kill them all for you. Kill them all. I kill every last one of them. That's what Yah said. Yes. And I will raise up you none of these dogs. Nation. You can find one man that stood like Moshe. And all of his fallacies, his failures. You tell me Yah trusted him to get, and he trusts these liars today to tell them to take the Greek culture and interplant days and months. That's evil. Yes. Listen to me, my friends, and if you all can repudiate me, you can rebuke me. But just do it with scripture. Don't do it on opinion and feeling. And you're so caught up in your ways, you don't know how to transform. You don't know how to change. And that's nothing but pride. I don't care about being wrong, because I'm wrong every day. I'm never right. His word is always right. His word, not my word. I can't be adding or taking from what I'm saying today. Show me one man that you know of, have known of, that Yah's given that supreme authority like he did Moshe to change his word. Yahshua didn't do it. He didn't come to destroy the Torah, alter one thing. He just came to show us the fullness of that power. He didn't come to change anything. So you show me this time that Yah's given man that ability. His days never changed from Bereshit to Malachiah. It never changed. And I got hundreds of scriptures. I just want you all to read them and look at them. I just pay attention to what I underlined. And you will see that never, the feast days never change from Noah, the first moon. Matzah never change until yesterday. Never. 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 Let Yah be true, every man a liar. Let their God be damned in the hell. Let their God be damned. Let Yah be truth and every man a lie, but let their God be damned in the hell. Because it's a lie. Let me move on, nation. Hallelujah. Where did I stop? I stopped at Melchiyah. What was that? What was that? 11? Yes. Let's go quickly to 12. Look at this kind of mother here in Maccabees. Instead, the mother urged, she chazach. She made them strong. She urged them on. Each child singularly and all together. For what reason? For the sake of the emunah. She encouraged them for the sake of faith. Yes. Don't give up, son. Don't worry about me. That's what that mother does. Yes. You will forsake all for the sake of emunah. You will begin, first of all, with one of the most violent ones that are against the faith, and that's me. You are the most violent one. It's so easy for me to see the fault of someone else, isn't it? Yes. You are a blind fool, and you're silly, and you're dumb, and you're stupid. Well, you can see everyone else's ways, but you never see your violent, corrupt, evil ways. You are silly. You say she's a whore. What are you? You're worse than a whore. You're worse than a whore. There was one that used to live here. Little boy, when he left, the little boy thought he was a man. And he wanted to see the plot out here. So I said, come, just follow me. You're not walking in our community. I don't care if someone wants to see that. I mean, you don't give a nigger's worth of hogs dung about seeing your father's grave. And he went over there and kneeled down. I said, boy, get up from there. Quit acting silly. Nothing in there, that brother. One of them said to me, Riak, I want a wife. Now, you're getting everything you want out there. But he said, I want a wife. You think I would? Stop it. That's what he said. Because of all of his father, what he think is pleasure, he's found nothing. And I don't play with them. Boy, hold up now. You know me. I don't play with them. I was saying to my friend yesterday, I said, you know, there are only one or two of them that have just blatant disregarded me. The one that called the cops on me out here, that dog, his wicked brother that spoke so violently against his father, spoke so evil, but you don't get by. I said, but these, they have never. I said, the one that came, his brother, when he saw me, he was almost like a little child. I didn't know he was in Air Force. Big, oh, he's in Air Force. I said, wow, that's pretty nice. I wouldn't want my son there. The last time I saw him, he put his hand in his pocket. He said, I'm so glad to see you. Why are you glad to see me? Why? You know why? Because he knew that this man operated in integrity and honesty. He knew that. And the only one that tried to get smart, the bulldagger one that used to live here, and a fruity, even a fruity sister has done that. But the bulldagger one, she tried to. But they all have reason. They all have. Yes. Not one of them. If they ever said anything to me that disregards who I am. Yeah. Because they knew. They knew. Yeah. Yes. They knew. They knew. They knew. Yes. Only those two hogs called the police, and the one talked to his father like he wasn't even human. He's going to kick his, I want you. He didn't realize, my young friend, he had already knocked one down. He was chewing off something that he couldn't write a check for. He didn't realize that. I said to him, come on down to the gym. You put, I got some gloves on. I'll tell you what. Let's just go to the gym. Let's go to the gym. I'll put the gloves on. I'm going to give you minimum 150 shots on the big bag every 3 minutes. And I'll do it 3 minutes, 1 minute, rest 3 minutes. Let's see what you got. With the buttocks on that boy, he couldn't have done it for 3 minutes. I'm a monster. I said, let's see how long you hold out. Come on. I'll take you down there just to do that. Because I know you can't hang with me. And that's just a fact. I don't care how men feel about me. I don't care what they think. I don't care how they remove themselves from me. I don't care. Did they do it with YHWH? I'm no YHWH. They did it with Shaul. I'm no Shaul. They did it with Kefa. I'm no Kefa. Did Kefa do it with YHWH? I'm no Kefa. Not even worthy to even be mentioned in any kind of breath with a messenger of Yah like that. I'm not like their prophets and apostles out here. I'm not like them. I don't want to be like them. I will tell you the truth. And you will get over your emotions. It will make you free from your emotions. Miss Wright. There was someone that contacted us. They were so excited. We'll be here next Shabbat. When I told them how to drive, we'll see you some. Told them how they must dress to come in. Well, we'll see y'all sometime in the future. They were excited. They did this. She called me. My husband loved me. You talk like that. But because Zakin called me, she heard me talking to him about what we got to do, get that organic fertilizer and all of that. Oh my! It'd be nice if they're listening today, because I don't back down. People are full of it. They don't love Yah. They got this religion. I found out who I am. I can tell you who you is. You are filthy. You're dirty like me. You are damnable, twisted liar. You're corrupt. Yah said, I'll kill every last one of these Hebrews. I'll kill them all. I kill them all. To keep you. And I can take from the dust of the earth. I can get a whore and a slave of a dog. And I can raise up me a nation out of you, Moshe. Damn them all. You think you Hebrew means something? You are silly as cats die. That's how stupid we is. He said, I'll kill them all. I'll kill every last one of them and their babies. He killed Pharaoh's babies. And everybody in YisraYah'ale they did not obey Yah, just like we don't obey him now. That's just so silly, man. I got my Egyptian woman here. We go, come on, let's go sit down in the waters. But when the walls came, there was nothing you could do. This is how stupid this generation is today. That's how stupid it is, nation. This is not how I intended to go, but I got to go this way for his people. Don't get caught up in this lie this weekend coming. He kept the Pesach with us, and then he's keeping Matzvah this weekend. That's what he said. We kept the Pesach, and now that's what he said. You calling me a liar? That's what he said. I played it again. And then I played it the third time because I want you to hear something. I want you to hear. You know, he could play. I know he didn't say that. And this is one of the most instrumental persons in that scheme of things. His name is Michael Rood. R-O-O-D. Go online and look him up. Go to YouTube. Silly clown. I remember when he didn't even have a beard back in the day. I remember Michael Rood back 20 years ago. He didn't even have a beard. I know what I'm saying. I had a beard 20 years ago. He didn't even have a beard. He goes to that little slither of land. He has this epiphany. Now everybody buys what he says. No, you don't go to their service without paying money. You pay money. He sells all of his material to those that support him. And there's such foolish individuals, they were buying. I have nothing for you to buy but truth.
Hallelujah.
That's all I sell is this truth. What time is that? Is that 1:20? Oh my. Let me finish up this. It says for the sake of faith. For the sake of faith, what will we do? Quickly. Sirach 29:10. For the sake of faith, they did it all for the sake of faith. That's what it says. But look what Sirach says in chapter 29, verse 10. It says, lose your silver. Lose all you have.
Yes.
Silver and gold I have not a dime. But in the name of Yahweh HaMashiach, be made whole.
Yes.
Sirach gives us great counsel here. He said, lose your silver for the sake. You understand? For the sake of what? Of a brother.
Hallelujah.
I will lose silver and gold for the sake of a brother. I won't cheat a brother because I'd rather lose every nickel for the sake of a brother. For the sake of a brother or a friend. And do not let it rust under a stone and be lost. Lay up for your treasures according how? To the commandments of the Most High. That's what she did with her son. We have to lay up our treasures according to the Most High. We must obey all He commands us. And then He says, and it will profit you more than gold. I'd rather lay up my treasures according to Yah's commandment. I'd rather obey what the Torah says according to the timing and the season. Let me be wrong. If I'm wrong, He is wrong. You understand? I'd rather lay up my treasures according to the Torah or listen to someone that has no love for Yah. It's just a religious form. That's all it is. I won't even do it, but I've seen these folks that call themselves having Pesach. They're as dirty and nasty as they come. They're playing every kind of secular evil music. They're dancing. They're getting flat out drunk. They're getting flat out drunk. They're getting flat out drunk. These groups are renting hotels by the millions of dollars. They get drunk. They will lay with other men's wives. Go to hell, all of you.
Yeah.
Go to hell. Go to hell.
Yeah. Yeah.
Then there are these, they call themselves Jews. They have their little religious perfection. It's nothing, it's dead, no life, no beauty.
Yes.
In it at all. It's just a thing they do.
Yes.
I said to him, he said, we'll just do each foot washing at the table. I said, I like that. We should have been doing that. I said, that's the way we'll do it. Because they were in their homes.
Yes.
I said, I like that, brother. How'd you come up with that? But I like it. Someone wrote to us, you all see the post one I do. That was so beautiful. You all did.
Yes.
And they get together with some superficial, there's no life in it, no love. They're all in their own little private thing. They're sitting around and pretending they're liars.
Yes.
It's not of Yah. It's coldness. I enjoy myself sitting with Dawid, and I told him, I always tell him, I will flatten your nose, boy. I will bust you in your nose. That's the only thing I say to him. Boy, I will flatten your nose out. I tell him that all the time. I will hit you in your nose, boy. I will flatten it out. I will punch you. He's the only one I tell that to. I will punch you in your nose. Shut up. I will do it. He thinks he has the ability. Yesterday, he always do it. He'll just look at me. He's going to show me I'm not going to blink. He gets about a minute in. He's pretty stubborn what to do. And he'll just look. I said, you blink. He straighten up a little bit, then he's going to prove to me you. I said, you blink. I'm giving you a third shot. Have a move. And he's sure as they come. I only give him 3 shots. I said, you blink. And if you don't get out of my face, I will flatten your nose on out. I will punch you right in. Get out of my face. And that's what he does when I say that. He always smiles like that. Get out of my face. That's fact. I want to finish this today, nation. There's nothing. We do it all for the sake, and the mother put them. She built up their most kadosh imuna. And that's what the hearing of the word of Yah does to us, all right? Yes. She says in verse 13 of Maccabean, O sacred nature and affection. There's nothing like parental love. Nothing. Listen to me, nation. I don't care if it's your child steps out or anything. But if you have that parental love, you're going to watch over she holds. That's not her baby. But there's something about parental love. I don't care whose baby it is. I don't care whose child it is. It makes no difference. I don't care what the circumstance is. But there's something about what they call parental love. It's a love that cares. And that is the mother above. She cares despite our ways. There's nothing like parental love. It's something you feel. It's something you know. It's something that brings you alive. It's something that excites you. It's something that makes you reciprocate. You got what you call false, cold, damned, twisted thing you call love is a lie. Because of our parental love. There's nothing like it. There's nothing like it. I don't care whose child it is. You see, these children know that there's a parental love around with me. They know that. I didn't know young, I call him Huda. Huda never came in. I don't know. One of them said, Huda, why you don't ever get Huda? Well, I'm not getting Huda and my other friend both together. As I tell you what, we have them two on one day and the boys one day. And I need you to sit with me. No, you come up here. But Yahweh is sharp as a pen. You all sit that day? They don't act like clowns with me. I tell them, shut up. Shut up, Reed. Shut up. Shut up. You all talk enough. Eat your food. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. And they still smile with me. And they still love me. They still do. They still know it's genuine. Papa, when we going to the zoo? Well, shut up and eat. Well, put that plate in front of you. Shut your mouth. Shut up. Now, I don't ask them, I tell them. But yet they know that parental love. They know it's real. They know that this man of Yah, they know it's real. They feel the one. Do all that. Shut up, boy. Shut up. Stop it. Quit playing. I tell them, quit. Shut up. Shut up. Shut up. Shut up, Leland. Shut, boy. Shut up. Shut up, you right. Shut up. Turn around, eat your food right. You eat the rest of those beans, boy, you're going to eat them. I don't play with children. Hallelujah. I don't play with men. And I sure as the day is long play with no woman. You understand? I won't. Hallelujah. For we are also the offspring. For we are also his offspring. What did I stop? There in Malachi 15:13. Towards the offspring. Go quickly to Acts 17 and 28 and 29. Who are the offspring? I am of this mother. It says in Acts 17:28, for in him we live, in YHWH, and we move, we have our being. Yes. As certain also of your own poet has said, for we are his offspring. Does it say that? Yes. For we are his offspring. For our mother is from above. We are his offspring. Verse 29, for as much then As we are the offspring of Yah. They were the offspring of Yah. They have been birthed by Yah. We are the offspring of Yah. We ought not to think that the essence of Yah is like gold and silver or stone, created by man's mind and his own devices. We are the offspring of Almighty Yah. Just like those that were birthed by that pattern, that type, that mother. We've been birthed by the mother from above. We are the offsprings of Yah. We are his children. We don't think like we think. We are the children of hell. We don't act that way. We're not condescending. We're not arrogant. We don't think highly of ourselves. You think that way, you're evil. Okay, who you think you are? You're evil. You're evil. Very evil. Look at who you are. You think highly of yourself? You esteem yourself better than others? You're a very evil man. You're an evil woman. She's not right. How right are you? You've done enough wrong for me too. And we don't have to measure my wrong against your wrong. So what puts you above anyone? You are a silly man. You're a little boy. Your position, and what position you got? You do the same thing a garbage man does. He works. I've been a garbage man, a trash collector. Man, I like them days when you get off at 9 a.m. in the morning. That's right. 10, I'm at home. I would be home at 10. We hit that garbage route. You see, that's her brother said. He was the only man, I didn't know what a man was. But when I saw him, what you saw about him, that you thought he was a man, because when he took job as a garbage man, he worked to take care of you. I knew that was a man. I knew, talk to me. He said, I knew that was a man. He said, that was a man. You have that hustle every day, take care of his house. He said, that was a man. I didn't know what a man was, but when I saw that, because his brothers didn't do nothing like that, but he did. Pride, this silly individual. So you can be a professor in the university. You got to get up like I did when I was a garbage man. You got to hit it. You got to report to someone, the dean or somebody. I did to the foreman. And when I had to work overtime, well, we forgot the garbage, we had to go get it. To think that you have something that is better, you're intelligent, everything we learn is synthetic. This is the only thing that is real. And what I've read to us, you know it's real. It matches up with each other. I am an offspring of Almighty Yah. That's what she put in them because they were Yah's offsprings. 15:14. This mother who saw them, she saw them tortured, burned one by one because of Emunah. She did not change her attitude. Yah is not changing one thing. He's not going to change his attitude. The moon is still the moon and the sun is still the sun. His day is still the day. You can measure it any way you want to, but it's still the day. When there's light and darkness, you know that's Yah's day, all right? It's still. It begins in the darkness, and when it lights up, it gets dark again, it's the day. He hasn't changed one thing at all. It was meant that way from the beginning. He knew the condition because of the sin of man, how the world would be. That it would be wet in South Africa. Now, you tell me they haven't spring out there in Colorado? With these bomb cyclones? This is how stupid we is. You tell me they haven't spring out there in Iowa, Idaho, Nebraska. This is how crazy. This is how sick we become. They have no spring there. That's the winter. That's winter. You tell me they have a spring there in Siberia. You tell me that the people of Yah, they're everywhere. It's one thing that Evangelist Hartsfield taught me as a young man. I never fought against him, even though there are things that he put great foundation in me. He didn't teach me how to study. I never taught like him because he did not search the parameter or the magnitude of Torah. And when I began preaching, that's the first thing I did. I taught from the fullness of the book. You remember, David, we had that revival there on State Street? He looked at me the whole time like this. And one day at work, he confessed to me. He says to me, and it was because of his jealousy. He said, I've never heard nobody, see nobody do it like you. You go from Bereshit to Gilyana, you go back. He said, I can't do that. Well, it's all the same. He said, I was so amazed at that. I says, one book, my friend. It's not two. I don't care what the mama taught you. It's one book. It's one book. He said, everything you said from the Old Testament, what he said, in the New Testament, it matched up. That's the only way I know how to do it. That's the only way I've known how to teach. You all been with me. I've never taught any other way. He doesn't change his time. Yeah. Times change. But his times never change. Times change. And seasons change. But his time, it never changed, nation. Hallelujah. Yeah. We are the offspring of Almighty. Maccabee and this mother saw the torch of them. And because of their emunah, she did not change her attitude. Well, that's only with her. No. That is precedent of the birth of YisraYah'ale. Hebrews 11:35 quickly. Hebrews 11:35. It says, women receive the dead, raised to life again. Hebrews 11:35. Does it say that the women received the children raised the dead again? And others were tormented. Did it say that? Yes. Were they tormented? Accepting deliverance. Accepting deliverance. Talk to me. What? Not accepting deliverance. And they were tormented. She didn't say, let them go. She didn't say, Yah, if you will let my babies go through that. She didn't say that. They were tormented. Not accepting deliverance. Why? Because they knew there was a better resurrection that they may obtain. That they may get the better resurrection. Look how she watched in Maccabee in 15:15. She watched the flesh of her children consumed by fire. Their toes and their fingers scattered on the ground, and the flesh of their head to the chin, it was exposed like a mask. All of that consumed with fire. She watched them, the fire consuming them. Yet she did not change her disposition. She did not alter anything at all. Where were they taken, consumed by the fire? That was the only way she could express it. But the fire is not meant for Yah's people. Can I read this and show you something? I want you to pay attention. This is what it says. And who could speak more eloquently concerning this than Shalom? He says this. He says to Yah, for you have power over life and death. You all believe that?
Yes.
You don't even have to know where that's at, but you know that yes. It has recognition in your mind that there's a flavor of truth to it. You do not lead men down the gates of hell and back. You go, you go. A man in his wickedness kill another. That's why they killed the son. That's why we kill Yahshua. But he cannot bring back the departed spirit of that man, nor set free those that are in prison within their own nefesh. He says to escape from your hand, Almighty Yahweh, it is impossible. You can't escape from your judgment, your hand. He says it is impossible. For the wicked, the Risha, refuse to know you. They don't want to know you. They don't want to believe your word. He says, they were scourged by the strength of your arm. You beat this wicked house, your people. They were scourged because they refused to know you. Pursued by fountains, unusual rains, and hell, and relentless storms. That's what you did. To show them your power in the storms, in the heavens. That's why this mother's imuna faith is greater than the storms could ever challenge. Then he says this, because they were wicked, they were utterly consumed by fire. Consume them. Yet you could see their faces, the mask of their faces. He's going to consume the wicked with the fire of his word, nation. And that's what he's doing with us, consuming this wickedness out of us by the fire of his living Torah, that it may reveal the skeletons in your wicked closet, your lies and your corruption. That's found in wisdom. Read the whole 16th chapter. How about that? I want to finish here. I'm wild. Hallelujah. I got 15 minutes. I'm going to rest next week. She asked me, are you teaching? I said, yes. She said, oh, don't teach. Sit with me. I need you to sit with me. I said, no. Let me just have this today. Look what it says here in Maccabean, 4th Maccabean, 15:16. It says, O mother, tried now by more by more bitter pains, that even the pains, the tremendous pains of suffering for them. You tell me you've been tried by more bitter pain than even the birth pains you suffered for them. There are mothers that have gone through travail for the child. Nothing like it. I don't know, but I've heard stories. And you've suffered with a pain that is greater than that. That is much greater. It is one thing that we must understand, nation. We must get this truth in our minds, in our hearts. Because I want to read you this account in Revelation, this account. You find it. You will know that it's the truth. Revelation Gileana. Yochanan says, and I went to the Melech. And this is what the messenger says to me. Give me, grant me, Nothan, bestow upon me that little book. Give me the little book. And he said to me, I want you to take it. As folks say, there's a bitter pill to swallow sometimes. But she had a truth. She had a truth in her loins that all the gates of hell could not make her deny it. He said, I want you to take it. I want you to eat not some of it. Eat it up. We must eat the fullness and all the truth. We can't take some of the truth and sympathize for some of that for our own experience. He said, eat it all up. Eat everything. And that's what that mother does. She receives everything from Yah because she knows it makes her fat and her ruach. And it shall make your belly bitter. You tell me a mother seeing that? And the pains of she bearing them could not even touch the pains of that bitter word or that bitter thing that she had to eat and look at. There was nothing more violent against her. Nothing more violent against our mother, YisraYah'ale, than the violent reproach of her children that defies her nourishing, her nurturing to teach us the power of Emunah that we may go on through that door. There was no pains greater than that. He said to Yochanan, eat it. And it was bitter. But when the mother saw their prevailing, they didn't cry. They didn't say, let me go. It said, but it shall be in your mouth sweet as honey. That mama said, I know that there are pains. They are so hurtful. They are macha, they're deep, and they hurt me, and I feel the sorrow. But it is sweet to see the faith that your daddy, that he bestowed upon me, that I raised you, and all the counsel, the instruction that he taught me by his walk, his love for Yah. She said it was a sweet thing. It was a sweet thing. That's found in Revelation chapter 10. You will find it. There's a place in Torah that's nowhere like this. In 15:17 of Maccabees, it says, O woman, who also gave birth to such complete devotion. We must have that kind of devotion. There's another place where it says, O woman, we're on the place. This woman was of great faith, was she not? Yes. Let me read this for you then. It's a woman, she was known as the Syrophoenician woman. Let me just read it, all right? Yeah. It's in Matithia, but I want to read it. Yahshua said, this bread that I am, it's not meant for the dogs now. But he answered the woman. Then Yahshua answered and said to her, O woman, you see, O woman, here Maccabee, these are the only two places where that translation and that identity. This mother here, who birthed the seven, that birthed the seven old woman, who all alone gave birth to such complete devotion. As the old folks, I'm not going to turn you loose. I'm not turning your hand loose. He says to this woman, you know that this is not your inheritance. And then when he saw that saying, he was reminded of this mother, because he was the teacher of YHWH. He was the word that this woman learned. He is the word. Yes. And she had learned him. Then when this woman says, please, master, he answered and said, oh woman, great is your emunah. I've been around my people, but not like you. Great is your emunah. Be it to you the healing power of Yah. He said, let it be as you will. He said the same thing to her. Be it as you will. She said, I'll give them to you. We must give all to Yah. She says, be it even as you will. And her daughter was made whole from that very hour. And her sons were made whole. That's why we must search diligently the Torah. Because there are many of you that think you have the life of Yahshua in you. And you are the one that testifies by your religious countenance. But it doesn't mean nothing. I don't care about your garb, the way you dress. I don't care about your 60s. They mean nothing. Yeah. I've been around for a while. I've watched them come. I watch them go, and their garb is all dressed, and you can't tell them. The first thing that I've had them, why you all don't do that? How? I can show them 75 things that Yah says, Leolam Via, that they don't even do. They don't do, and they think that that's a form. No, I don't have to feel them, look at him wearing them to read, to Zakah Torah, because his Torah is written in my heart. I don't have to. It's in my heart because I study it all the time. Fact of the matter. Let me finish here, all right? Hallelujah. I hate to rush on this last thing. It tells her in Maccabees 15:29, it calls her, oh mother, oh mother. That's not old woman. It says, oh mother of the nation. There's only one mother of the nation. Only one of the nation. You are the vindicator of the Torah, and you're the champion of faith, emunah, who carried away the prize of the contest in your heart. I want that prize. You want it? Don't ask me. I want that prize. I want the prize. But it takes something to get that prize. I just read from Matithia 15, all right? Find it. I want to read this, what Yahweh says in Philemon. Felicia. the prize, what it is. YHWH says this, I press toward the uth, the mark. For now, I want to hit the mark because there's only one thing I want. I want the prize. I press toward the mark of the prize. Oh woman, she was a champion of faith and she carried the prize. We're going to have to be champions of Emunah in order to carry the prize. He says, I pressed. I laid down everything. And she had to press with her son. And her sons pressed to lay down everything. And by them, her husband, them she laid it all down. And that's what a mother would do. She will lay down everything for the safety of her house. Very few mothers will abandon their children. Fathers will abandon them. And mothers don't abandon their children. Very few mothers will abandon their children. Fathers will walk away and their children never know them. Most children do know their mothers. I'm not saying there's not a case where they don't. But mothers, no more than a hen will abandon their chicks. Hallelujah. Yeah. We must press toward the brehorn, this victory of the high calling of Yah in YHWH HaMashiach. That's the prize. We must walk in the high calling of Yah. And we can only do that in YHWH HaMashiach. It cannot be done any other way. We have to press. We must press for this prize. That mother pressed. And we must press for that same prize of the Emunah that we trusted in life. We trust Him in death, and we can lay down our lives, even to the torment of something that is so violent and reprehensible to the thinking and the logic of the mind. I gotta let this go and that go, and those go, them go, this one go. I will lay it all down for Yahshua. Yeah. And that's just a fact. It ascribed this kind of beauty to her in verse 30 of Maccabees. Oh, more noble. Look how noble she is. She is more noble than males in steadfastness. Her love and her emunah is greater than the man that says he loves Yah. And that's what YisraYah'ale, that mother, is. Prophets have turned away from Yah, but not this mother. Prophets have not held fast, but this mother has. Prophets have altered things, but not this mother. Yeah. Prophets have and Shalishim, they have denied Him, but not this mother. Yeah. She has not. More noble than men, mainly the men in endurance. In endurance. Here's one thing we must do in order to have that endurance. We must. I'll read it quickly. It's in the books of Acts. Find it in the 17th chapter. You have to read everything, all right? Yeah. Hallelujah. Yeah. This is what YHWH says here so profoundly. His conduct with the Bereans. He said, in these men, this mother was noble. He said, these men were more noble than those in Thessalonica. Why is it that we can't say that there are brothers that are more noble than the brother from Chesterfield, South Carolina, or Columbia, South Carolina, or New York City? That the brother there in the hills of Tennessee was more noble than the brother there from Nashville. Why we can't say that? Every man is not noble. This mother is noble. He said these were more noble. He did not say she was more noble than even you'll wake up in here, right? She was more noble than men. Does it say that? Yes. And these Bereans were more noble. Why? They were more noble. Men are not noble. They don't know how to be. Why were they more noble? They go to Thessalonica in that they receive the word with a readiness of mind. You got to have the readiness of mind, man. Yeah. And then they search the key. Yes. Search Torah. Yes. Daily! Whether these things be so. Yes. Not that this proves SHABBAT. To say this is too fabulous for the hearing of the ear. They searched it because it was beyond their comprehension. They were more noble. You hardly can find noble men today. And that's just a fact. I've met more men in this way than you have. You that are listening. I've met them. They're in a way, but it's not the way. Who's more noble than our mother? Will you find a man that is noble? They will search Torah. They were more noble than the Thessalonians. But they searched. They said, Shaul, we've heard a lot of stuff, but it's not like that. We've heard men speak on everything. From everything, they were talking about intercalary back then. They talked truth. Yes. And that's a fact. More noble than them. They're noble men. And there are those that are not noble. He was talking about me, one that had used to come, and he was a great giver. Lived out there in Phoenix. You know, it's amazing because a lot of times the men wives don't like me. Not many, but most of the time, the wives don't like me. They don't like me because I touch their wickedness, their evil ways. I'm trying to show you, man, you need to gird her up and loin up. And this man trying to challenge me, my friend that sits over here, he was in that day, we talked for 2 hours. I put it on speaker so he could hear me. I went in the house and I said, prove it. You know what he would say? I didn't even know that was there. I know you don't know. I didn't know that was in the book. I know you don't know. You're an emotional individual. I've never seen that. I know you haven't. You're the one that tell me you study 4, 5, 6 hours a day? That's silly. I don't study that long. At times I may collect it for a period of time. I sneak in there and I get 30 minutes and I go back out. I come back and get 20 minutes and I go out. I'm not pretending when you come in there and you see me with that book open. That ain't no falsehood. That ain't no pretending. I got to get busy. Where do I go when you know I got to go to the greenhouse and all that? And I'm not saying that. I get up in the morning, I can study. I was up this morning 4:30. And I put together a message that is very profound. Started it. When they work, these words will strengthen them and they can take it from this and go beyond me. Yeah. They have offered. They have set out, they have made the offering for all of us. Hallelujah. Coming home late. Yes. Him giving up, leaving her. Him coming in late. And so when they sit down at the house of Yah, the table, they can eat well. And they can know that I'm no shyster. Yeah. No, I'm not a shyster. A faker. That I'm not. Call me a dog in it, but that I'm not a faker. Yeshua called the woman a dog, that's all right. I'm not a faker. Hallelujah. Yeah. He says, these more noble than those of Thessalonica. They received the word of Yah with all readiness of mind and search to keep the HaKodesh daily, whether these things be so. You don't hear what someone says, man, and just buy it. Yes. Show me in the book. I'll show you everything I say. Yes. I'll show you. Yeah. I'll show you. Are we seeing it in the book now? Yeah. Sure we are. I'm near the end. 1, 2 more verses. Maccabees chapter 15:31. This is, I love this part right here. It says, just as Noah's Ark, carrying the world in the universal flood, stoutly endured the waves, this relentless bombarding and battering upon it. That little thing that Yah told him how to build it, didn't it? The Torah tells us in the first month everything. What month he came up the Torah, and there was no intercalary. All through the scripture. We got to get that thing ready today, my son, all right? If I have to stay up late at night in the morning, you get on it. I want all you all, we're going to send it out, we're going to send it. I want all you all to examine these kitzvei and show me where there is an intercalary. And I'll deal with that next, and I'll deal with the Greek and the Jewish philosophy. I will quote from their men. It's a lie. It's a lie. Hallelujah. Just like Noah's Ark carried the world. It carried you and me in there. Yeah, it did. It carried the truth in that ark. The covenant of Yah. And it endured the great the waves that beat against it. We must, nation, listen. There is a people. We must endure them. We don't capitulate. I'll identify them for you. This is what Yehuda says in the book of Jude. Let me read it. You ain't got much to read that one. It says, raging waves of the sea. These evil individuals, foaming out of their own shame. That mother didn't do that. She endured the fall. Get up, old heifer. Look at that. The boys, they burn that way. We gonna get you. Yeah, baby. Spit on her. Did they spit on Yahshua? They spit on her too. They're like wandering stars. They're always hearing something. They wonder, is that right there? No, the Bereans, when Manoah, they searched the scripture. See if those things be so. To whom is reserved the blackness and the darkness of hell forever. You're going to hell, man. You're taking your whole house, your children, your wife, your grandmama, your granddaddy, old granddaddy. You're taking your grandbabies and all. It's reserved for you. You're always wandering. They wandered throughout the earth, Yah's people. They were destitute, having no certain place to live. It is one thing they did. They relied upon what they had heard, and they trusted in the midst of all of the chaos. They trusted the Torah.
Hallelujah.
I want to close right here in the last verse of Maccabees. Hallelujah, chapter 15, verse 32. This is a profound, beautiful mother. It says this, I want to read this quickly, Maccabees 15:32. So she was a guardian of the Torah. She guarded. We must hide the Torah of Yah in our hearts and minds for one reason, that we don't defy him and sin against him. She was a guardian of the Torah. She was overwhelmed, overtaken from every side, by the floods of your emotions. When our emotions said, tell them no, you will know, you do whatever it takes for your son. There are mothers that have lied, and fathers for their sons and daughters. They felt ashamed, they felt dirty. Don't tell me. She says she was overwhelmed by all of these emotions, by the flood of your emotions. And then those that were violent against you, they were violent. The winds of their breath were violent against you. The torture of your sons, enduring nobly. And you withstood the wintry storm that assailed your emunah. You stood still. You were stronger than the one that had the ability to fight against the great blisters, the blizzard of the winter storm. You stood. Well, what does that say? We're going to have the same thing. Where? On every side.
Hallelujah.
I want to close with this here. This is what Shaul says. He talks about this libur. We are troubled on every side. That's what he said. She was troubled on every side. She was overwhelmed. There was distress and everything. Not only we troubled on every side, yet not distressed. We're not overwhelmed. She was not overwhelmed. Overwhelmed from every side of the flood. But she never allowed her emotions. And that's the way we are. We allow our emotions to get the best of us because we're overwhelmed. We can't answer things, honestly, with integrity, straight up from what the book says. Brothers and sisters, I don't mind even if a child correct me out of the book. Poppy, read that. And don't tell me we'll not use a child for that. But this world today that is evil, no love for Yah, I don't even listen to. But not distressed. He said, we are perplexed. I'm embarrassed at times. That's all perplexed. It's just embarrassed. You don't know what to do. Just overtaken by something. He says, we are perplexed. But I'm not in despair. She wasn't in despair. I'm not giving up on Yah. Persecuted. But I know one thing for sure. I'm not forsaken.
Yeah.
I'm cast down. This is the heritage of his people. As I said, he built us for this. But we know one thing, we're not destroyed. He doesn't destroy the Sadiq with the wicked, but not destroyed. He says not only that, always she bore about in her body the testimony of Yahweh HaMashiach, always bearing about in the body the dying, the death of our Master Yahweh HaMashiach. This is in 2 Corinthians 4:8. 2 Corinthians. That always bearing about in our bodies the dying of Yahweh HaMashiach, that the life also of Yahshua may be made manifest in our body. That one was made manifest. For me to live is Yahshua, for me to die is gain. And that is what was manifested in our son's body. The Torah I live by, I will die for. I will gain the riches and the blessings of the Torah. For we which live are always delivered the death for the sake of Yahshua HaMashiach, the death of Yahshua's sake, that the life also of Yahshua may be made, may be manifest, may be made known. Where? Not in the body, but in our mortal being, in our flesh. That's what she represents. That's why I started off with knowing you that the wife is the weaker vessel, but yet she was the weaker one, but yet she had more nobility than men. She did. And those that follow Yahshua to death, he chose 12 men. They all left him. And it troubled me the way that these jackasses of boys, you never know what a mother been through. You never know. They will call the women every kind of deplorable things there is. Yes. You're cowards. You all are cowards. Yes. If you think that way about one, you think that way about all of them. I met this fellow the other day when I went out to Lowe's. He just, how did we begin conversation? I always speak to him, man. I said, how you doing, sir? He said, oh, how you doing? I tell you where he lives. He need to drop by, gave him one of our cards. He said he was going to call me. When you go down Secret Shortcut, you turn that by behind Food Line. He said you go to the first street, make a right. He does everything right there. He shipped containers all in the islands of the sea. And we start talking. We talked for half an hour. We did. I enjoyed the conversation with the man. I enjoyed it delightfully. I did. Where you from, man? I said, Jefferson. I live in Jefferson, South Carolina. And we just began to engage in that kind of a mutual conversation. But he said something. He said, you know, I also do, I'm a bouncer at a club. Because we were talking about the women of his hue and my hue, how that they're brought down to nothing but a piece of flesh to satisfy some juvenile little boy. And it doesn't even satisfy him. He doesn't even know what the man's thing is. You understand? You're nothing but little boys. You're not even a boy because the boy wouldn't even do it. And we were discussing that. He said, man, I had to go up in a fellow the other night. You're a bad boy because you don't know what nobody's carrying today. He said he came into the place and he took off his motorcycle helmet and he started beating this woman, just beating her, calling her everything. He said, no, you're not going to do that. He was thick as a bulldog. He was a thick boy. Just knock him out. Mama say knock him out. He said he started beating that woman with his helmet. I said, that's not a man. Not even a child would do that. That's not even a... So you can beat them with your verbiage and batter them. These little boys today, that's all they do. And they call themselves Hebrew Israelites. And they demonstrative, denounce, speak every kind of ill against the woman that looks like you. They're not even jackasses. They don't even meet the qualifications. They're not even boys. They're not even boys. Because he's a boy, he would never do that. They're not even boys. He said when he started doing that, I went up in it. Glad you let me know that because I don't want to make you mad, man. He said, I went up in here. I put it on you. The way I wanted to say thank you. I didn't even know the woman. She could have been the biggest hoe in town. You think he was any greater? He was a hoe. A hoe flocked with a hoe. She was a hoe, he was a hoe mother. So what? You think that makes him any better than her? Yet he will call these jackasses, call the women some of the most deplorable names, denigrate them, belittle them. They're not even human count. I have no, boy like that, I have no honor for no one like that. No! Well, you talk about your mama, but you've never heard me denigrate. I've never denigrated my mother. You've never, hold up, no, that's my wife. I said, come to my house and eat. I said to my wife, I said, you notice I said to my mother, you come live with me. But they're not coming to my house. I mean that. You chose them over me, that's fine. You don't have to pay no rent, you don't have to do anything. I said to her mother, she had no notice. I said, come, you stay with me. You've been kind to me, woman. I wouldn't even have your daughter if you hadn't sent me the money to marry her. You think I would let that mother? And that her mother regarded me great. Her mother honored me as greater than any man could have a mother-in-law honor him. She has never tried to say anything against me. I said, mother, you stay in that room, that's fine. You don't have to worry about me because that means I can, you with your daughter here for a while, I can, you know, I'm going to shoot me some ball now. She got somebody with her. I'll be back. Your mama is here. Where you going? Play some ball? Okay. Should I go to the hoop? I'm sure you couldn't even touch me or eat you up. I could play me some hoop. She was very pleasant. I have no problem with her living with me. I got no problem with my mother. With these things you're not going to do. Period. You're not going to do this. You're not going to do that. They're not coming here. They're not coming here with their dope. No. Now you will go out there with them. That's all right by me. I don't care. But they're not coming here. Her mother never did anything like that. Quiet. Very quiet mother. I had no problem with her. Not 1 ounce of discomfort. I had no discomfort with her mother. She didn't have to ask me, well, just let her come in. No, she can come here. This is your house too. Your love is what pays for the house. You don't have a job. Maybe you owe me. Maybe. But your love makes the payment. Same love that the monies that I make the payment. And I have no problem with that. And these boys will speak with such violence. Yes, my mother was loose. I hate that. My mother suffered all her life with that. 5 children by 5 different men. She wanted to be loved, but she never found love. And she's not the only person that of her who finds that situation. There are not many men, because that same mother didn't raise any of hers. She didn't know how were we supposed to know what a man was? We didn't know. And it was just by the kindness of Yah that he, as a child, before I was formed in my mother's womb, he had his hands on me. Not that I'm greater than my brothers. Never pretended. Never said I was. Never said I was better. Don't even have what they... My oldest brother had more money than I did. Never. Never have I done that. And yet they would denigrate the women and call them every kind of slut there is. I have no emotion for a person like that. None. They couldn't come here. You come here, I know how you're going to dress, see? You can't come here. You can't come down and sit down at our table. I know about all of them before you even knew about them. May the riches of Yah rest upon you. I took that one along, but that's all right. We're not going to have service next Wednesday because we're preparing our children and looking forward to Thursday. trying to get some money, so I got the money. We got the money. I got information that everybody wants some of that bison. One woman wrote to me, no turkey burger, but I'll come for that bison. This is how immature people are. They think they're smart. They think they know. I was talking to my friend in the back. I said, you know, I've never seen any birds any more beautiful than what we got this concept of what a vulture is. They can't even tell you the pedigree of a chicken or a turkey. I know it because I'm a student. They just talk from what they've heard others say. But I sure would eat some of that bison burger. I don't even want you to come in for that. That's a fact. Turkey's unclean. Brother, believe me, I spent hours and hours just anthology, just studying on that. There's so many different kinds of birds, it's insane. But some of the most beautiful birds, some of the most powerful ones, they're what we call buzzards. There's some pretty birds, man. The beauty of them, their plumage. Some of them look just like eagles, man. Some of them look identical to eagles. I've seen them by the tons, man. And that's just a fact. That's a fact. Y'all don't look like when we see them mighty condor or nothing like that. That's just a fact. I've looked at them and said, wow, that's a beautiful bird. That look more like a falcon. And these fools think they know. And they think they're smart because they heard one other thing. They have not, they can even tell you what even the science of bird study is. They can't even tell you that. But they can tell you, well, oh, no. We ain't no chicken. They cannot tell you what the chicken, how it's, science tell you that by structure and body type. Skeleton, they can tell you. They can tell you. Come from no buzzard. They're stupid. The turkey, they come from no buzzard. This is how smart they are. They're stupid jackasses. I don't care if you never respond to me. Makes me no different. Because people like that, that talk crazy like that, they'll come here, well, what is this? You better get off of these grounds. It's a fact. Those folks didn't feed Shalom no pork because they knew he didn't eat pork. But he didn't go about, what is this right here? No, just eat. I don't even want people like that coming in. Don't even send your offerings.
Hallelujah.
They know everything and they're smarter than everyone. That's it. Let's stand our feet. Hallelujah. In all things we rock above all of your blessings. Go with us, protect us. Touch our friend here, Zachim. Touch Zachim, Tomas, our precious friend. Bless him, and all of our friends. The Ima, all the mothers. Ima Zabea, Ima Visia, Dafa, Ima Rafe, and all of them. Just touch the Yahshua's name, and the sons of YisraYah'ale, the daughters. And our little ones, bless them all. This is our simple prayer. In Yahshua's name. Hallelujah. 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 Ya beloved nation.
It's the kingdom of Yahweh and His righteousness, and all these these shall be added unto you. Hallelujah, hallelujah. Seek ye first the kingdom of Yahweh and His righteousness, and all these things shall be added unto you. Hallelujah, hallelujah. Seek ye first the kingdom of Yahweh and His righteousness, and all these things shall be added unto you. Hallelujah, hallelujah. Come on, sing from your heart. Seek ye first the kingdom of Yahweh and His righteousness. That's what we come to do tonight. And all these things shall be added unto you. Hallelujah, hallelujah. Come on, everybody, lift your hands and sing to Yahweh. Seek ye first the kingdom of Yahweh and His righteousness.
That's all right. We seek your righteousness.
And all these things shall be added unto us. Hallelujah, hallelujah.
Come on, sing.
Seek ye first the kingdom of Yahweh and His righteousness, and all these things shall be added unto you.
I'll sing it again and refresh your entire being. Come on. I will seek the kingdom of Yahweh and His righteousness, and all these things shall be added unto you.
of Yahweh. With my hands and my voice, I will sing and rejoice. Praise the name of Yahweh. Let's worship. Worship the name of Yahweh. I will worship the name of Yahweh. With my hands and my voice, I will sing and rejoice. Worship the name of Yahweh. Worship. Worship the name of Yahweh. I will worship the name of Yahweh. With my hands and my voice, I will sing and rejoice. Worship the name of Yahweh. Torah, the name of Yahweh. I will Torah, the name of Yahweh. With my hands and my voice, I will sing and rejoice. To the name of Yahweh. One time, Torah, Torah, the name of Yahweh. I will Torah, the name of Yahweh. With my hands and my voice, I will sing and rejoice. To the name of Yahweh. Worship, worship the name of Yahweh. I will worship the name of Yahweh. With my hands and my voice, I will sing and rejoice. Worship the name of Yahweh. Torah, Torah, the name of Yahweh. I will rock the name of Yahweh. With my hands and my voice, I will sing and rejoice. Rock the name of Yahweh. Let's pray. Praise the name of Yahweh. I will praise the name of Yahweh. With my hands and my voice, I'll sing and rejoice. Praise of Yahweh. Shabbat, Shabbat, the name of Yahweh. I'll Shabbat, the name of Yahweh. With my hands and my voice, I will sing and rejoice. Shabbat, the name of Yahweh. Torah, Torah, the name of Yahweh. I will rock the name of Yahweh. With my hands and my voice, I will sing and rejoice. Rock the name of Yahweh. Torah, Torah, the name of Yahweh. I will Torah, the name of Yahweh. With my hands and my voice, I will sing and rejoice. To the name of Yahweh. One time, let's pray. Praise the name of Yahweh. I will praise the name of Yahweh. With my hands and my voice, I will sing and rejoice. Praise the name of Yahweh. Abba Yahweh.
Oh, yes, Lord. Praise the name of Yahweh.
Hallelujah.
God's great. Mighty is Yahshua. Come on, hallelujah. For the salvation of Yahweh. Hallelujah.